Hello and welcome to, or back to, Heavyweight. The new channel. I said back to new channel, Heavyweight RPG. And
Heavyweight PG.
Heavyweight RPG. Is he a parental guidance heavyweighter? Is that what
Yeah,
it is?
yeah. This is the PG channel for heavyweighter. There's also a heavyweighter 18 plus somewhere else.
It's
But
my channel.
yes, welcome, welcome to episode 68 of the Chronicles of Nidum, presented by us, Dice of the Beholder, and streamed through the wonderful Heavyweight RPG. Yes, new channel. If you haven't already, please go ask friends to follow, even if they never watch. Just get this follow account back up so we can get AD back to affiliate.
Start getting some alerts again.
But yes, before we get into D&D, a word about our sponsors. We are sponsored by the fantastic Loki Battle Mats, an award-winning UK-based TTRPG accessory creator. Their many books of battle mats, little, big, and giant sizes, and their modular sets are full of amazing artwork and an awesome backdrop to any tabletop game. If you are interested in finding out more, please search Loki Battle Mats on Facebook or visit lokibattlemats.com to view their amazing artwork and shop their physical and digital maps. Our second sponsor, again, is the wonderful small Cardiff-based dice creator Blink Dog Dice. We all have dice now. As of Monday, I will have enough spare cash to be able to finally send out all of the prize winnings to all of our fans who have won them so far. No giveaways currently, because we are currently saving all of their dice for a much better cause than generating new followers. But more on that in a moment. But yes, Blink Dog Dice, please obviously type that in, all one word, onto most social media, and go and shop on their Etsy store and tell them we sent you and show them some love. You will find the links in the chat. Yes, prizes to be won, and fantastic TTRPG content to be consumed. Coming up now, I believe, on this channel, on the 24th of July, is the, I think it's an annual thing now. I think AD's kind of, created that unfortunate work for himself, where it's an annual thing now. 24-hour charity stream, 24th of July this year. You will have the Short Rest Tavern crew be DM'd through Heavyweight's homebrew world. It's going to be awesome. 24 hours from the 24th into the 25th, so I'll watch some of it for my birthday. But yes, we have many, many prizes to give away. D&D Beyond themselves have offered two. I've got to use all the willpower I can to not say it the way AD does. 2 copies of Van Richten's Guide to Ravenloft, not Van Bryan's. AD, Van Richten's Guide to Ravenloft. Yes, 2 copies of the new Ravenloft sourcebook up for grabs as prizes to anyone who donates £5 or more on the charity link. We also have a big book and a giant book of battle mats coming from Loki Battle Mats. We have many, many dice coming from Blink Dog Dice. We have donated by a friend on our Discord a fantastic Hero Vault, which also will include some Blink Dog Dice donated by us, and many, many other prizes. For more info, you can either click on the link or go search Heavyweight Gaming on Facebook and check out all of the posts that AD is going to make on there. But yeah, please tune in. It's for a fantastic cause, for McIntyres, I want to say. Yes, McIntyres.
Yeah, I've just shared the Just Giving link in the chat.
Who work with people with special needs and autism on teaching them coping mechanisms and how to help them fit in with the world, which is a charity that's quite close to my heart.
Work for them.
Yeah, make the world work for them. A charity that is quite close to my heart because obviously my son has autism and I need help sometimes with him. But yeah, it's a fantastic charity, very worthwhile cause. Please please pop over on the 24th of July or put it in your calendars, and it's going to be a fantastic show. I guarantee it. But yes, apart from that, say hi to everybody.
Say hello to everybody.
Hello.
How we doing?
Hello.
It's much less hair.
Just in time for the summer.
I'm loving the hair at the moment. Really.
Yeah, it looks good. It looks
Good.
awesome. I liked it when it was super floofy. You flattened it down.
I mean, it's flat because it's hot, but like, it goes all
Yeah.
the way.
Oh no, you've got. you're getting the headband mark.
I know.
The dip.
Yeah.
It looks good. It looks really good.
I'm washing it in the
It's
morning, so it'll be fine.
I literally shaved my head because of that dip. That's the only reason. No other reason. I don't want to hear any. I don't want to hear any suggestions for other reasons I might have done it.
No. Not an excess
Yeah.
testosterone reason.
No.
I mean, that's actually a lot more flattering than the other ways I've heard it phrased.
That is very
cause-
complimentary. Leading cause of men losing hair is excess testosterone.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's right. It's
Too
it's just
manly.
it's just because I'm such a fucking alpha.
Jesus.
Yeah, that is how I view you.
Yeah, I think that's how everyone views me, Millie.
Mm-hmm.
When people think Greg, the first thing that comes to their mind is that guy's an alpha male.
Just such an alpha.
Yeah, and
How I feel about you. It's how I feel.
he takes being an alpha and his place in the hierarchy of masculinity so seriously. How could he not be? Yeah, that's the image I'm trying to project. So I'm glad that's coming across. Did you guys want to play D&D?
I'd
Yeah.
love to.
Yeah.
Oh, my cat fell over.
Oh, I can't. I haven't got any dice. Hang on.
Ah, let's not bother then.
So,
I literally haven't set my dice up.
There we go.
last time on the Chronicles of Nidum,
Don't know what you're talking about. This is our first show.
having left the week before with dice being taken into a subterranean chamber by a crazy gnome, along with Ace, it was revealed that this was Cliff, a eccentric inventor and one of the only 3 gnomes in the Empire.
There are only 3 gnomes in the Empire?
Cliff,
Walked right the fuck into that.
instead of immediately explaining why he had called you into his chambers, wanted to look at Ace's hammer. Ace, being the trusting sort, handed the hammer over. Cliff was very interested and assumed that you, Ace, knew exactly how the hammer worked. When you took the hammer back, a flash of rainbow energy almost blinded Dice. Before they blinked, the light away, and Ace had gone. Cliff explained away that you were perfectly safe, nothing to worry about. Didn't quite alleviate Dice's concerns, but also confirmed a lot of gnome knowledge about the Empire. The gnomes were held captive by the elves, forced to make their war machines, forced to make their airships, and according to Cliff, there was no way to help or free them. Dejected, and with a new strange gift, a jar of metallic liquid given to them by Cliff, Dice made their way back alone to the hotel. Everyone was slightly perturbed by Ace's disappearance, but was comforted somewhat by the knowledge that Ace could look after themselves, and the fact that regardless of their fear, the only sensation Dice got from your disappearance was an overwhelming feeling of comfort and rightness. You then went to sleep and made your way, after twiddling your thumbs in the hotel room for the most part, to the meeting with an agent of the master of Paras's underworld, who had invited Oriana specifically, but their friends as well, to come and meet them the next day. You were approached by a dancing girl in the tavern, who took you down, 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 many flights of stairs into the darkness of the honeycombed underworld of Paras, a city massive and expansive, almost completely built over by the shiny facade built by the elves on top. After a short battle with agents of the Master who were trying to prove who you were, Oriana, flaring their wings and their abilities with fire, very much proved your worth, and you were taken before the Master. It was there that Oriana discovered the Master was another pureblood tiefling. But not just that, was also her brother, Claw. Oriana also discovered that her mother was an elf. And, reeling from this information, you were taken, the three of you left, to a temple to Hades. Among other temples, one to Dionysus, that Quill wandered over to. It was in the Temple of Hades, which, when she entered, did not look like a temple at all, but looked like the Chamber of Hades Oriana had visited previously in her dreams. A ghostly figure appeared before her, a familiar one, and Benkin sat with Oriana, offering to tell her about her past. So here you find yourself, sitting on the same stone bench that Benkin had gestured to previously, with Benkin sitting next to you. A comforting but somewhat sad look on his face, you reeling from the fact that Benkin had just confirmed that not only was your mother an elf, and everything the Master had said was true, but that he was your uncle.
So did you know all this while you were alive?
I did not.
Okay.
Your mother... We did not see eye to eye for quite some time before her disappearance.
I can't imagine you did if she slept with a demon.
That is also something I did not know. Your mother was a member of the Inquisition.
Oof.
She was highly trusted and very good at her job. She was actually supposed to be, or at least the talk was, that she would be the next High Inquisitor.
Okay. What's her name?
Your mother,
Yes.
Lyra.
Lyra. Did she have a surname?
If we
A
did,
family name?
it is an elvish name.
Okay.
Kololefon.
You want to spell that for me?
Can you use it in a sentence?
Kolorolefon.
Okay.
It means light of the land.
Okay. So do you know who my father is?
We have not met. As far as I am aware, or have been asking around, have found no knowledge of him. He seems to have disappeared around about the same time as your mother. Your mother had, or was the head of the Inquisition's study into demons and their presence on this plane, now that the Nine Hells had been sundered, was inaccessible. It was there that her and her apprentice captured a demon. As far as I am aware, or as far as I can ascertain, she was manipulated by this apprentice. And one thing led to another, and she began to fall for the demon. The apprentice used this knowledge against her to elevate himself above his station, much higher than
Please don't tell me he's the current High Inquisitor, or whatever Inquisitor. Norman.
He just nods.
Oh, mother. No, I'm not going to call him that.
Your mother fled with the demon when knowledge of her, according to the Inquisition, indiscretion became public, and they hid for a while. At some point, her son was found by a Knight's Patrol. He had the same abilities that I and your mother had possessed in infancy. And we offered to take him on, as those abilities mark you, in an elf at least, for entrance into the knighthood.
So you
Unfortunately,
took a tiefling into the knighthood.
he is not the first of a different race to be allowed in. You have met a previous apprentice of Ankane, I believe.
True, yeah.
But unfortunately, his infernal nature, his anger and rage, solidified against the establishment. They could not control him. He did not want to be controlled, and unfortunately, he and Ankane came to blows. I could no longer protect him, so I, against my better judgment, facilitated his escape. It was not until I had passed away that I discovered he was no longer in the Underdark, and that he was, the elusive master of the underworld of Paras that we had hunted for so long. I was completely unaware until my death that Lyra had also had a second child.
Surprise!
She must have hidden you, or had you rescued by someone she trusted before the Inquisition finally found her.
Either way, I ended up in Nidum. With a
Nidum.
note.
Yes. I've heard a surprising amount about this Nidum. There are many that have passed through or beyond the veil that have stories of places called Nidum.
It's home. Or was. It moved after we were banished.
From what I can ascertain, yours moved.
Yes. We're aware that there may be others.
Hades is requesting your help.
Well, I literally dedicated myself to serving him, so...
The crystals used in elven construction here, the dark nature of them prevents his power from penetrating too deeply into Paras. It is one of the only places in the Empire he cannot see, but he has a message and a gift. Once you cannot no longer be followed, please come to Gracia. One of the gods has been murdered.
Who?
That was as much as he could convey before his power failed him.
Okay.
The gift, though, From now on, not just me, it will be much easier for you to speak with those who have passed on. Much easier for you to see them. It is not a wholly happy gift.
Welcome gift.
Some of these unfortunate souls are unhappy that they are here.
I'm not a fool to think that everyone's happy in death.
I do warn you, though. You have to become very adept at hiding your reactions the next time you see an elf.
I mean, not show complete disdain for them? I suppose I shouldn't now that I'm technically half one.
I meant the next time you see an elf that has gone through the process that most of us now do when we come of age. Hide your thoughts.
Yeah. I've been quickly learning that that's a thing to do.
Is there anything else you wish to ask?
Probably a million things, but I can't prioritize a single one at the moment.
I have a request, if I may.
Yeah, sure.
Do not treat Ankane too unkindly.
Oh, I know it's, the thing about the dead's wishes, but no, I'm burning that man alive from the inside out.
There is another way.
If you want me to rescue him somehow.
He may be able to free himself of the influence of what holds him. However, if he cannot, and your life is on the line, of course, feel free to defend yourself.
What can I do? Is there something I can do to help him?
I know not. The knowledge, even in death, of what has happened to my race has, or is hidden from me.
I could show him what's happened to his race, what his race are doing.
I feel that under his current influence, that would have very little effect.
Unless it came in dreams.
Find out
Something
what
that...
has happened to the elves, and see if it can be reversed.
Alright, I've got a couple ideas.
Now I must go.
Yeah.
You may call, and if I hear you, I will visit.
Okay.
You're doing
Should
very
I tell
well.
Claw? Should I tell Claw that I spoke with you? He was quite upset to find out you were dead.
We cared a great deal for each other, even when we did not know our familial ties. He looked on me as a father figure, I on him as a son, not knowing that we were uncle and nephew.
Definitely better than the way I thought about you.
I will... Yes, but...
Yeah, no, it's fine. Let's just not
Yes.
go into it. Mm.
I will tell him when the time is right.
Okay. Yeah, you scoot on off to your afterlife.
I am doing nothing of the sort. There are many souls over here that require my help, and I have 800 years working under the current regime to atone for.
Oh, have fun with that.
I will try.
I'll try to call you at some point just to give you a respite.
I will try. Goodbye, Oriana.
Bye, Uncle Ben.
And as his form disappears in front of you, the room around you starts to shimmer. And instead of the cave that you have visited Hades in many times before, you are now sitting in a broken temple. The statue of Hades, once tall and proud, with his crook, his shepherd's crook, is beheaded, the crook broken. Any gold, any gems stripped from the walls. Just bare stone and earth.
I want to take, pardon me, 5 gold.
Okay.
And put it down at the feet of his statue, but I want to hide it so it's not likely to get stolen anytime soon.
Okay.
Just like put some rocks and stuff on top of it.
Okay. Roll me a quick investigation check with advantage.
It's 20, not that.
Looking around it, the altar itself is it's a much more ancient but very similar structure to the one that was actually in Nidum that you grew up with. And as you look around, you do remember that there is a hidden chamber, at least in Nidum. And feeling around with your fingers, you feel the mechanism is old, slightly jammed, but you push harder than you usually would, and a stone does pop up. And underneath, covered in dust and dirt, is a small little hoard of copper, silver, gold. The coin's much, much older than any you have seen, ancient. Some, in fact, bearing human faces of human kings and emperors. And you know that your money will be safe in there, so you pop 5 gold in, push the stone back down, you hear the satisfying clunk, and it is locked.
I also have a ruby I put in there.
Okay, and a ruby. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. While that was happening then, Quill, you went to the Temple of Dionysus.
Yes. Yeah, so I guess I'll wander over there, yes.
Okay. As you walk in, again, like many of the buildings you see around you, it is broken. And as you walk in, the statue in front of you, obviously of Dionysus, again, beheaded, anything that was held in his hands now removed, and you can see piles of broken stone on the floor. What you do notice is off on one stone bench to the right, there are many open bottles of wine, alcohol. There's a couple of pitchers, a small glass of some very strong spirit, and there is old and mouldering food that is kind of placed in the temple as well.
Okay. Is there an altar there, did you say?
There is.
So I'll go up to the altar. I will take a cup out of my bag, a little clay cup, and I'll pour some. I'll take 2 cups. I'll place them on the altar, and I'll pour some wine out of my alchemy jug into one of them.
Cool.
Into both of them, but I'll pick up one to drink for myself. It's a. Hello, Dionysus. I suppose this is prayer. I was never very pious, but you're supposedly a patron to my family. It's not something I've ever taken very seriously, and I suppose I should apologize to you for that. feels silly to do, but it's I've met some people recently who have informed me that the gods are real, so that must be nice for you, I suppose, and for them, for the rest of them. So yeah, I thought I should come and have a chat, I suppose, since you're responsible for the life of luxury that I live. Yeah, thanks for that, old chum. This is silly. Is this silly? I'll just down the cup of wine and leave the other one on the altar.
As you down the cup of wine, having drunk wine from the alchemy jug many, many times before, you have come to know what the wine in the alchemy jug tastes like. It's not the finest wine. There is a branch of your family that has vineyards that makes a much finer wine. And it is now that you are very heavily reminded of as you swig from the goblet. And it is one of the finest wines you have ever tasted. Much better than anything you have ever known the alchemy jug to produce.
Alright, that's showing off, I think. Anything I can do for you, Dio? Just sort of let me know. I'm here on the regular plane, whatever that's called, material. So I don't know if you need any errands run. I don't know how people talk to gods. I should have paid more attention in religion classes. Well, tatty bye then.
And as you move to leave, you look down, and the goblet you presented for Dionysus is empty.
Refill your cup before I... Yeah, probably refill it. No, I'll refill it from the alchemy jug again.
Okay.
One for the road.
Okay. And as you walk out then, Dice.
Yeah.
You said...
I couldn't work out where my unmute was. I was looking for it on Zoom, and we're not on Zoom.
Not particularly au fait with any of the ancient Mediterranean gods, at least. You elected to sit outside in very much the same situation as they found the temples in the courtyard with its stone seats. Is very rundown, not so much overgrown, as very little light gets down here, but where flowers and trees and bushes normally would be, you see large collections or large growths of fungus, various different species. You're reminded that Sepsis probably would have known a lot more about them than you.
Mm-hmm.
And what are you doing while you're waiting for your friends to come back?
So for the first 5 minutes, I'm going to sit there going. Then I'm going to get bored.
Okay.
And I'm going to drag out some paper and pens, and I'm going to start sketching a design for an amendment to my armor that can be added to the top of it that will shoot something. I haven't worked out what yet, but that will be able to shoot a liquid, either one that is on fire or one that is acidic, something along those lines. And I'm going to start sketching vague ideas for how this might work and be feasible.
I'm glad you made it more specific, because I was seeing the killer droids or the killer robots from Austin Powers, the boob cannons.
I was thinking
a liquid, and I was like,
I was thinking Iron Man's shoulder cannon, and then when you said a liquid, I was thinking Blastoise's shoulder cannons.
yes.
I mean, super cool. If I could shoot acid with that much force, that would be
hydro pump acid.
Okay.
Hydro pump acid would be seriously OP and probably quite scary.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm just sketching an idea for. I'm thinking more sorry to link it back to a game I'm playing a lot recently, but more like Vipers shooting the toxic pool, the canister that breaks, something along those lines. But either that or something like napalm that's on fire.
Okay. Cool.
So I'm just sitting there sketching some ideas and
A Molotov launcher.
Molotov launcher and acid
Molly.
launcher. Molly!
Dreaming about napalm.
Okay.
Sitting there, having a nice moment, doing a sketch, and probably while I'm doing it, because it's a little bit meditative for me, just having a think at Flandel and being like, so your gnome I found, he's nuts. I mean, proper nuts. What broke in that one? He is not okay. And just sort of having a think as well about how to approach the factory and how to do some more recon on it, and contemplating.
So after a few minutes goes by then, in quiet contemplation and sketching out your new design, you do hear footsteps coming from two directions, and you look up to see Oriana and Quill making their way back into the courtyard out of the temples they were standing in. Both of them looking much more confused than when they walked in. And it is at this moment there is a bright flash of light, and I want everyone to make a Constitution saving throw, please.
Oh yeah.
That's it, case.
Flash out!
Constitution saving throw.
Oh god, Billy.
I can't help it.
I know.
I'm 22.
I can't find my saving throws. Hang on, I can't find my
16?
dice.
16.
Oh, nice. Con save is going to be also 22.
Okay.
16.
We just look at the light like, ugh.
All of you manage to shield
Stare
your
into it
eyes.
like Donald Trump looking at the eclipse.
All of you manage to shield your eyes quick enough that it does not burn an image in your retinas. However, Dice, you recognize this light, the scintillating rainbow colours that appeared to you very recently. And as you blink the corona away quite quickly, you do see, standing in front of you...
If only we could just blink the corona away, bro. Wouldn't have needed to spend millions of dollars on
excellent. I love it.
Fucking hell, bro. Fucking hell.
That was the best line.
You do see, standing before you, the ground below them burnt in the same pattern that you showed Oriana previously on that piece of paper. You see, standing before you, Ace.
You guys, I'm starting to think you might be right about the gods being real.
Everyone,
Yeah, it'd be just a bit.
everyone,
Yeah, like I thought. I was pretty
everyone
sure.
Roll me a perception check.
Oh, it's good.
And tell me your
It's real good.
numbers. And remember your numbers and tell me in
Including
a
me?
moment. No. Ace.
Okay.
Mhm.
The last thing you remember, of your friends at least, was standing in a small subterranean chamber with a mental gnome surrounded by machines of many descriptions that you could not name, until you found yourself on a battlefield. There were many other beings around you, mostly human, but some gnomes, some halflings, and even a giant or two. This plain was massive and expansive, surrounded on all sides, far off in the distance, by huge snow-capped mountains.
Don't go there, there's wolves.
Behind you was an archway, very similar to one you have seen previously, back in Albion, when you were trying to stop a load of elves from activating a portal. This one, however, was covered in very familiar runic symbols. And while not active, this was what you were brought to guard. You were secure in the knowledge that this was what you were brought to guard. And as you looked away from this portal, you saw everyone ready their weapons, and staring off into the distance, you saw Draugr. Hundreds and hundreds of fallen souls brought back to try and assault the small force standing around you in front of this portal. You hefted your hammer and met their advance as the horde came on. Day after day, night after night, unrelenting. No abilities, no magic to help you. The only thing that could help you was the strength of your arm and the weight of the hammer in your hands. Thunder crashed, lightning struck, lighting up the battlefield as you saw many of your friends fall, and the next morning rise again to eat, drink, sing with you, and continue to fight. Suddenly, one night, when one of the Draugr weapons pierced your chest and your heart, you saw a scintillating rainbow light flash down at you. You blinked, and you are now standing in a subterranean chamber, surrounded by old temples. The ceiling above, hundreds of feet. And your friends are the only people you can see. What was everyone's perception check?
22.
17.
Okay. You all notice a change. Ace's armor is much more dented. Not broken, but it has seen much more wear. Scuffs, cuts. The hammer you see is dented, scratched, soaked in blood.
That's precipitation.
Ace, as you look at the lines on their face, as you look at the slight greying of the hair at the sides, Ace is a couple of years older.
That would still only make them 18. Why are you making them grey?
They've had
Stress.
they've had a stressful innings, Minnie.
Yeah.
God.
If you didn't know any better,
I started going grey at 15.
if you didn't know any better, you'd say Ace was about 20 years old now.
Are you older than me?
I'm still the oldest.
Hey, you're back.
The memories of where you have just
Yes,
been
I am.
start to kind of fade very quickly. You feel like you've been away forever, and all you can feel now is that you have missed your friends so much, thinking that you would never see them again. But here they are.
I'm just gonna pull everyone in for a big old hug.
Oh,
Ace, Jesus Christ, you only left yesterday. Calm
You're
thyself.
getting
You've
gore
gone.
in my fur.
you haven't even been gone 24 hours, and I do cast prestidigitation to
There's
clean,
blood on your
clean
hammer.
Ace up.
There's not
It was
blood
a
on
lot
you,
longer for me,
Oh,
I
Aw.
think.
I think.
I mean, it looks it. And I grab your face. It looks it. But you look good.
Thanks.
Very sexy.
You kind of look like a younger pa.
That's
They always-
confusing considering that I'm adopted. But okay.
Yeah, don't get me started on family relations right now, okay?
Yeah, some stuff has been going on. So,
What have you been up to?
yeah, where'd you be? Where'd you be? Where'd you be?
I sort of like look down at my hammer and see like that stuff is a bit more like worn in. I guess battling.
Look, it looks like you smashed puberty, to be honest.
It's kind
Yeah,
of
you've had a glow up.
Thanks.
You shouldn't do that too often because if it's aged you a couple of years, and that's what it looks like. I'm not saying it has, but it looks like it.
Is there a way for us to find out if I have?
I mean,
So
you're
no,
going a little
it's not-
grey here.
It's not
We
like
need
a
to get
horse
you
where we
some-
can look at your teeth.
We need to get you some retinol lotion. Some anti-aging serum.
If we cut you in half, we can check the rings. No, wait, that's
Maybe a
That's
nice,
I don't
maybe an
think I
under eye
like
cream.
those.
You look fine.
I know what you're thinking. You only look about 20, but like that sort of thing, you can't start with the anti-aging
I was
treatments
about
too
4
early.
years more than I was when I left.
Yes, yeah,
Look,
but I'm
as
saying
the other person here who has been aged a couple of years, it's not the end of the world. I'm still older than you.
I feel remarkably youthful.
I'll need to tell Dandelion about it. At least we're
I
closer in age a
don't-
little now.
I don't think he's gonna mind.
I think
Nah.
that's pronounced dandelion.
You look real good, Ace.
Yeah.
And as you notice now, any of the soft edges from Ace's childhood, any of the soft edges around them have disappeared. There is just muscle.
the sharpest cheekbones and
Yeah.
like the most
Mm.
cut jawline now.
I was gonna say just the jaw is gonna be real big.
They're
and
just
strong.
Yeah.
just hedge.
I'm going to have to redraw you. Not to change the subject, and I do want to hear more about where you've been. But both of these guys just came out of temples looking kind of traumatized, so I want
And
to check in with them too.
Fine by me.
Need
Also,
to
I
get
don't
back to
think I
my
can really
brother
tell you
as
much.
well. I need to get back to my brother as well.
Brother?
Oh yeah, I've got a brother.
Oh, okay.
Another
Is he
tiefling.
nice?
He's been through some shit. By the looks of it.
Imagine,
Oh,
like-
and Benkin is my uncle. That's not awkward at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Mhm.
gonna. Yeah,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
gonna be a
Why would that-
conversation.
Excuse me, I wasn't. I've never met this Benkin. Why would that be awkward?
They had some.
There was some chemistry.
Chemistry, yeah.
Oh, already
That's right.
definitely had a crush.
Some real big alchemy happening between those two.
I don't think you should do that when you say that. I just don't.
This is when.
I will look
Nothing
at what
actually
happened.
ever happened. He was far more interested in the matron mother.
Okay, well
Thank
that's
the gods.
my name's Paul, and that's between you all. And
Your name's Quill.
Quill pulls out his flute and starts playing "Sweet Home Alabama."
How did
never
your
heard
visit
this
to
song before, but
Dionysus' temple go?
Catchy.
Sorry.
How did your visit to Dionysus' temple go?
Well, either you guys are right and the gods are real and still capable of contacting us here on Earth, or the temple's haunted, or there's
Probably is as well.
or there is an invisible alcoholic trickster. So I'm still sitting on the fence about some of this, but I've got to be honest. It felt kind of convincing, and if it is an invisible alcoholic trickster or a ghost, they somehow managed to change the properties of my alchemical jug, which is quite a feat. And if I had that sort of magical power at a sort of whim, I'd probably be using it for other things than confusing a ginger cat in a temple underground.
I mean, I'm fully going with the gods are real because they are, but also ghosts are real as well.
Yeah, 100%.
I
Obviously.
just
Well, yeah, I
want
mean,
to make that 100% with you.
yeah, no, I understand
The
the
dead
ghosts are
are
real.
around.
I'm aware of ghosts. There was actually a fairly friendly ghost in my parents' old house.
What was his name?
Sorry.
What was their name?
Well, I asked them once, and they said it was "Ooh," so I'm not 100%. That may have been his name, but it was also the only thing he ever said. So, I'm not sure how you spell that.
A lot of O's.
A lot of O's, yeah, possibly. But then, how do you convey the warble in?
A mixture between lowercase and uppercase.
And
That
you can
works,
occasionally
yeah.
put a w in as well. So it's
So his name is Owo.
yeah.
Oh, whoa.
Oh well.
Oh, well.
Oriana,
Anyway, yes.
As you
Brian's
have-
not just going to let us sit here and say Owo for the rest of the session, apparently.
Oh, well.
What a fucking spoil sport.
well.
oh, fucking hell.
I'll do it again.
It's gone. It's just gone.
I need to go see my brother. It's been about an hour.
Well, as you have this conversation and you begin talking about ghosts, you look past your friends, and off in the distance, not blinking, but kind of phasing in and out of existence, you see apparitions. Sometimes just a glowing orb, the shape of a body. Other times, passing in a gap between two temples, you see fully formed and incredible detail. Clothes, armor, weapons, scar on their face, their hair, the leather used to tie their hair back in a braid. There are ghosts everywhere here.
Oh, by the way, guys. Benkin had a message for me from Hades and a gift.
What was the gift?
How delightful.
I see dead people now.
Oh.
There's a lot of them around here.
Are
Oh.
they?
Why?
Do they wish us Do they wish us ill?
No, most of them just seem to be wandering.
Why would Hades give you that as a gift? What was Hades' message?
The crystals here stop him from being able to really view or do anything in Paras. And once the blood trace is removed, to head to Gracia.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I think that was pretty much the plan anyway.
I'm sure at some point we also have to do something for some vampires or some werewolves.
There was something else as well. So, my mother was on the way to becoming the High Inquisitor until her buddy, her partner, her apprentice, dobbed on her for getting it on with a demon. Guess who her apprentice was?
I think I can guess.
John Quincy Adams.
The High Inquisitor.
That makes more sense. I can see now why you would ask us to guess.
So yeah, that dickhead is also the reason my mother had to go on the run. Oh, and Benkin didn't know I existed. He just knew about my brother.
What happened to your mother?
Don't know. She disappeared.
Hmm.
I was put into rescued somehow. I ended up at Nidum. That's still not entirely known. And she's gone. And I haven't got a clue about my father. I just know that he was a demon that they summoned while my mother was studying demons.
Okay.
Right, what did you do?
Nothing.
No, we're really going to need to know.
Yeah.
I was trying
You changed things.
to stop notifications and realized that obviously it's capturing the window, so it just captured the channel that I was reading. Just try and stop the notifications instead of you guys' cameras for a second.
Oh no.
It was only a second, but unfortunately AD noticed.
I'm sure
Good
lots
work.
of people noticed.
Anyway,
My work here is done.
so yeah, I'm half elf. Benkin's
still
my
pretty.
uncle.
Half
Oh,
elf.
and he thinks we might be able to help Anakin save himself, and Cain to help himself.
Do we want
Do we
to?
care?
He says to at least try.
Okay, but he's, with the greatest respect in the world to your uncle, he did die, so we don't actually have to do what he tells us.
Okay, but there is something about respecting the wishes of the dead.
And
apparently
And
they
one
can
person's
have-
already can see them all the time now, then he might annoy her.
The
a
issue
lot.
I have now is that the dead can keep giving me their wishes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Interesting.
you have to have boundaries as well. You can't just you can't just live your life for the dead now.
I can do this one thing. Oh, that
You
right?
can.
I
I
can.
mean,
I
you
can
can,
respect this
absolutely.
one dead guy. I can respect his wishes.
also,
Sorry.
Benkin was important to Oriana, and
Sorry,
the dead
I-
are also important.
For sure. I don't mean to tell you what you should do. In fact, my point is very much that you shouldn't let anyone tell you what to do. So if that's what you want to do, then I'm all for it, and obviously I'm down to be of any assistance that I can.
I should go see Claw and see if he's up to talking again. I don't know if he wants to meet you guys. I'd like for you to meet him.
That sounds terrifying, but okay.
I'm always happy to meet family of a friend. You've met my shithead brother. It's a cousin.
Cousin.
You're
Yes.
pretty unlikely to meet mine unless things change quite drastically.
If you met my brothers, I think that would go much better than meeting Busy Claw. That they're all a lot more affable.
You know, technically, I actually have two sisters, and as we're walking back, I'll explain about Ulcer and Anna, because of course Quill wasn't there, so...
Did your mother have any other family, Oriana?
I didn't ask.
You might have surviving family out there. They'd be
well,
elves.
I mean, Ben King went into the knighthood, and I'm pretty sure they don't have children.
No, but
Possibly.
what about her parents? Elves live an awfully long time. Your grandparents might be out there somewhere. You might have other uncles.
Well,
aunts.
Benkin was already a good couple of 100 years old.
That's not that old for an elf.
No, it is now.
I mean, like 800 odd years old.
Even so,
That's pushing it for an elf, right?
I don't know. It's
It
possible.
is-
Do I get an elven lifespan?
I don't know. Do
Well,
I know?
guess it's
Right?
mine.
Would I know anything about that?
You know, all of you effectively know the stories of before the Cataclysm, when elves effectively lived forever, never aging. To see an ancient elf was unheard of. However, more recently, as you have branched out into the world, you, Quill, would have seen from almost from infancy that there are now old elves. And while they still live for thousands of years, their immortality may be in question.
But if thousands of years, then it's very possible that Oriana might have surviving grandparents, great uncles, aunts, other uncles and aunts.
Cousins.
Extended family.
I have the family name. I guess I could look it up.
What was
Hey,
the
there's
family
probably-
name?
Find a library.
There must be a library in Paris. Oh, we
Gloria
should go there
Let's
anyway.
get to a library and spend the rest of this campaign in a library. No.
You guys head to the library. I'm
what
going to
was
go see
your-
my brother.
Wait.
Oriana, before you go, what was your family name?
Gloria Lafon.
Okay.
Is it a name that I would know, Bri?
Roll me a history check.
Okay.
So, Calori Elephant, yeah?
Colourful elephant.
Gloria Lafon.
Oh, I don't think I know.
Calori Elephant.
God
Yeah.
damn, that's a very bad
My
roll.
mother's name was Lyra.
Are we
It's an
going to the
11.
Moulin Rouge, bro? Is that why there's an elephant?
It's
There's
an
no elephant.
It was an 11.
It was an 11.
Yeah, it's only an 11.
Elephant.
You have heard the name before.
Have I?
You can't.
That's it.
But you can't think where. Not
That's
right
right.
now.
Put your finger on it.
I know that name from somewhere. And I realise that it's probably more irritating to hear that I know it from somewhere, but I don't remember where, than it would have been if I just said, oh yeah, that's not very familiar. I should have probably done that and then looked into it in my own time. I apologise.
Ori,
Don't worry about it. Yes.
I think maybe it's a good idea if we leave you with your brother. If we can get permission, or if I can get permission to go back through it. We have an awful lot of things to do.
Oh, right. Cousin stealing thing.
Cousin stealing.
Quill and I did want to.
Will wants to break into his cousin's house.
Yeah, but I'd rather we all did that together. And,
No,
and
no,
I
no,
would
I-
quite like
I-
to meet Ariana's brother.
That would be fine. I was just going to go and do some research in the background. Not anything to do with your cousin. It's okay. I was going to wait for Oriana for that. But
It's
I can,
fine if it is to do with my cousin. I don't give a shit about the guy.
I can stay if you like, Ori.
It's up to you. I don't know if Claw's going to want to talk to anyone.
Let's find out before I make a decision.
And during
Seems
this
sensible.
conversation, it not being very far, you do arrive back at the quiet, muted festival that is going on in the small, broken town. You see Kiara. She's standing there on top of the steps just outside the door to the Master's Chambers, staring down at the festivities. So, you are done with the temples?
Yes. Is Claw, your master, up for talking? Again?
He has given you leave to use his name.
Eason. How much do you know?
She looks like super pissed off that you've
Oh, no.
you've just name dropped him. You get the feeling she might not be allowed, and the look of anger is tinged with like green-eyed envy. She kind of. He is asked not to be disturbed for the rest of the day, but you may visit him again after tomorrow, and you have free reign of his kingdom and all of its services. They will not affect you. You do not need to be worried about pickpockets or...
Kiara, I have a question.
Yes.
Is anyone responsible for maintaining these temples?
No, there are very few worshippers here. Most of them old. They could not carry out the maintenance themselves, even if they wanted to.
I find that a little sad.
I can perhaps look into it, but we do not necessarily have the funds currently to pay anyone to do so.
It's not necessarily the state of the place of worship, Quill, so long as it's still used to worship.
Yes, but it's it hurts me a little to see such fine architecture go to ruin.
Well, if you would like, I can go back with you and we can do a few small mendings now to help maintain things.
No, that's okay. I'll think on it.
Okay. It wouldn't take much effort to at least fix some of the statues.
Perhaps it's. I think it's a more long-term effort that needs to be undertaken, though. If we fix things, they'll only be broken again. I'm going to have a think about it. If there's anything we can put in place.
Ari, did you want to stay down here, or did you want to return to the hotel before coming back tomorrow, in light of the information you've been given?
I don't... I'll go to the hotel. There's no point in me staying. If he doesn't want to talk to me for the rest of today, then I might as well go.
Then,
But Kiara, I asked how much do you know in relation to who I am?
You are a pure-blood tiefling, like him. The Master's thoughts are his own, and apparently some are yours.
I'm his sister.
so
And that's
what
why
you
I
think.
used his name.
The look of envy disappears and is replaced with just shock. Her eyes go wide, her mouth opens slightly before she closes it and remembers herself.
Just keep it to yourself, because I'm not sure how much your master wants people to know. But with how much you've helped, you deserve to know.
I can be trusted with any secrets of the Master and his family.
I'm casting Detect Thoughts.
Okay.
So untrusting.
I'm very untrusting.
Does it have a somatic component?
Yeah, I'm not trying to hide it.
Okay. So you're just going to twiddle your hands in front of her?
It has a verbal and somatic component.
Okay.
I'm going to twiddle my hands and speak aloud a spell.
As she starts speaking then, and confirms that she can keep the secrets of her master and his family, your first thought is, the first thought you detect from her is, oh God, she's so much prettier than I am. I thought I was done for. But no, everything's fine. He'll still be mine. Everything's fine. She's very intense.
She is very intense.
Her thoughts are very intense.
Yeah, I'm getting that. You conveyed that adequately without saying it. I am interested to know if they are currently involved, or if this is just an ambition that she has. So I'm going to try and push a little harder.
Okay. Yeah, you do.
I'm using Detect Thoughts, by the way, in the correct way it's supposed to be used, purely to satisfy my own nosiness.
Okay. You get images from her mind, but they are romanticized, and there is a blur to the detail of them. And you see her feeding. You see her feeding the master. Yeah, you see her feeding the master grapes. You see him with his bare chest, and now in what you believe may be a fantasy form, you see this like hulking, almost 7 foot tall figure, red skin, black undulating tattoos all over his body.
Oh, that's right. You haven't actually seen Claw.
That seem to form a heart on his chest every time she touches him. The coils of the tattoo kind of form a heart on his chest.
Okay, I'm getting the picture. Am I getting the sense that she has managed to consummate this relationship, or is this a goal of hers?
It's a goal of hers. These are all of these
You got a
images you are
crush.
getting are a fantasy.
But I was going to say, I'm definitely getting the impression that her feelings for him are genuine, and it's not just like she wants to cozy up to him because of ambition.
She's obsessed.
Okay, interesting. Now I'm gonna have to cast detect thoughts around Charlie's brother to find out what he's feeling about Kiara.
What's the range
Not
on
yeah,
this?
Charlie's brother.
What's-
Please say Oriana's
it's-
brother. Please don't detect thoughts on my actual brother.
Oriana's brother. The range is not sufficient to bother. It's that's weird. You can read the thoughts of certain creatures when you cast a spell. Focus your mind on one creature you can see within 30 feet.
Okay.
I think, yeah, you can also use the spell to detect the presence of thinking creatures you can't see. It doesn't matter.
See
It's
within
30 feet, basically.
Yeah, cool. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, no, unless he's hiding real nearby for some weird fucking reason, which I honestly wouldn't put past anyone down here that we've met so far.
No, that's it. That's what. you
Anyway,
get from me.
that's the only reason I used his name, Kiara. Sorry, I didn't even ask him if it was okay. I just assumed.
That is all right. Would you like a guide back to the entrance?
There was some magic shenanigans happening on the way in. Was that simply to throw us off guard when we arrived, that our guide had vanished?
Some of them have the uncanny ability to move when they are not observed much faster than they would be able to otherwise.
But the route that we walked was correct, yes?
It was.
Wasn't Kiara the one that brought us down?
I don't know.
Isn't she the one that met us in the bar and brought us down?
No. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, would you mind taking us back?
I am. Unfortunately, it has been delegated to me to look after the festivities. However, and she calls over your shoulders, Scout! And this young boy, maybe 14, 15, that Oriana has not met, but Oriana and
hello,
Ace have
Scout.
not met, but Quill and Dice have. All right,
Hello, little one.
Hello again.
how's it going?
Bit of a day. Hey, before we go, Kiara, what do you think of Ariana here?
She is. In what way?
I'm staring at Quill like, what the fuck?
I only want to know what her immediate thoughts were. I'm not actually.
Okay.
I'm not actually interested in pursuing a conversation about it.
Her immediate thoughts are she's stunningly attractive, but that's obvious because obviously she's related to the love of my life, so why wouldn't she be? Those
You
are
better
immediate
tell
thoughts.
Oriana all this, Lise.
Oh yeah, no, that's gonna happen. I only meant in terms of how you think she'll fit in here.
Perfectly well.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure meeting you.
The last thought you get from her when she says perfectly well is, as long as she knows her place, I will be the queen of this place, not her.
I don't want it.
This woman's fucking nuts. Obviously, I don't know that, but out of character. Boy.
Well, yes, Scout, could you lead us out of here, please?
Where to?
We need to get back to the hotel.
This scimitar. What's it called?
Ah, Broken
Broken
Scimitar.
Sun Scimitar.
That's the one.
It's like 5 minutes in that direction.
There's
Sweet.
a quicker route, huh? Go on then.
I will see you tomorrow, Kiara.
You were brought the scenic route, eh? Yeah. Newbies.
It was very scenic.
I will see you tomorrow, Kiara.
I will look forward to it.
Does she?
No.
No.
Only going to be more fun when Oriana knows all of this.
Duplicitous little bitch.
That was a lie.
Some of these things or I lie.
I'm thinking Quill could make a really good like name for himself, doing like a Jerry Springer kind of. And my detect thought said that was a lie.
Or I was thinking the other day. This is kind of a tangent, but I was thinking the other day you could make a really good character who is like a medium, like a Derek Acora style, like shyster medium.
Oh my god, Oriana could do that.
Who just uses detect thoughts to like pull names out of people's minds. I'm getting a claw. There's a claw who wants to send you a message from beyond.
But yes, Scout does show you very quickly the 5-minute route back through to the bottom of the steps, and you find yourself at the bottom of the steps to the Broken Scimitar.
A 5-minute route is what Charlie calls our love making, by the way.
Yes.
You make your way back up the steps.
So that Garrett is the only man going in that bed tonight. It's the only one.
If you like the SETI.
Yeah.
As you make your way back up the steps, it's not long before you find yourself in like the newer structures, the newer architecture. You can hear the sounds of the music playing from above. You can hear the bar. There seems to be a lot of shouting, like an incredible amount of shouting. And there does also seem to be impact noises.
Oh god, there's a fight.
And you start to hear, as you get closer and closer, you start to hear the sounds of a fight.
Ace is
I speed up because I just want to start screaming fight and
Okay.
also I want to make sure it's not handsome.
Ace is gonna grip that hammer a little tighter.
Okay.
Just like response.
As you make your way then into the bar and come out from behind the bar where you were shown earlier, you do see a large ring of people. All of the patrons are there. You recognize a few of the members of the crew of the Ligel. And as you try and peer through, you notice that a small sand pit has been kind of hastily erected in the middle of the pub. All of the tables have been pushed back to the edges. There's fiddlers just trying to fiddle away as the fight's ongoing. They see you come back into the bar, some of the patrons, and they kind of, move around.
What's happening?
Anyone we recognise fighting?
Fighting in the pit, as you make your way towards the front of the crowd, in the space provided for you, there is for a half-orc, quite small. He's still about 6 foot tall, but he's quite skinny. Heavily scarred face, a nose that has been smashed in many, many times and flattened against his nose, cauliflower ears.
The Owen Wilson of orc.
Rugby player.
Yeah, proper full-on, like, he's a winger. But he's currently beating senseless this slight man in front of him. And the man you see in front of him, pale skin, he's wearing leather trousers, not much else, bathed in sweat. He's got small cuts and scrapes on him, not a tattoo to speak of. His only other piece of clothing is like a black bandana tied around his head. And he seems to be laughing.
Before you said no, not a tattoo to be seen, all I could think of was like the jugger at LARP.
Yeah.
That's basically what it is.
Pretty much. But yes, he's there scrapping away. And every blow that lands on him, he laughs. And it seems to enrage the half-orc even more.
I'm not sure that's the correct response to being absolutely obliterated by an orc.
He might enjoy it, Ace.
There is a moment where he gets
Some people
punched.
do like to be absolutely obliterated by an orc every now and then.
Yeah. I'm still
gets-
watching the fight as I just go, yeah.
He gets punched so hard at one point,
Visibly confused.
he flies across the ring and stops himself just before he bumps into Oriana. And as you look at him, his pale blue eyes kind of catch you, and he smiles, winks. Very handsome man. He's like, "Do you have a towel?"
I got anything on me? I am
You
so
probably have a sash of some point.
yeah. Well, the
Yeah,
thing
all
is
she's
most
wearing,
of my
though.
outfit is just
Illusion.
fabrics. I'll take like the end of my skirt and sort of dab his face for him and then drop it down.
Ah, merci. The sweat, it was getting in my eyes. I will win this one for you, madame. And he turns around into another punch from the half-orc, who sends him kind of spinning away from you.
You've got to like this guy's confidence.
Yeah.
Ace is
Under
just
the
gonna sort of
circumstances.
like lean in and be like, I don't think he's gonna.
As
I tell you what, Ace. I'll bet you 10 gold he does.
Sure.
Okay, but you can't help.
What, I?
Yeah.
You think that I would? You think that I would undermine the sacred right of betting on pit fights?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, I was going to. Okay, fine. I won't help.
Also because we've done it.
Well, that sounds. That's despicable of you.
Yeah, we did.
I can't
First
believe.
night in France, we did.
Against
I can't
one.
believe that I've.
Fight?
I can't
We
believe
helped-
that I've found
Did
myself
Ace
in
know about
such
that? I can't remember.
disreputable company.
My fight?
yeah, they tried to
Yeah.
help you. It did not work.
No, I did.
It's like as they say, like you're not allowed to help. I was like in the middle of like moving my hands in, like, oh, okay.
Doing some
No,
wiggly blues.
yes, of course, I
I
wasn't,
wasn't even
going.
going to. Whatever.
No, I certainly would not.
As the man recovers from the last blow that knocked him away from you, he catches your eye again, Oriana, smiles, and this time, when the punch comes in, he ducks under it and sends 5 quick jabs into the half-orc's chin, followed up by a massive uppercut. And the half-orc is just laid out on the floor. And he kind of just raises his hands. He's like, "All I needed was an audience as pretty as you.
Ace begrudgingly gives 10
Merci.
gold. to
Merci."
Will.
And he kind of like
It's a
bends
pleasure doing
down
business with you.
and bows towards Oriana. And then a couple of other men come in and grab him and kind of drag him back out and start to dry him off.
I
I'm
should have.
I
should
still
have
have
bet
my gold
more.
on me.
gonna look out for Handsome.
There is a hand on your shoulder as you say that. Did you enjoy the
As
fight?
you say, I'm going to look out for Hanson.
And you turn and Handsome is there.
Just what I was looking for.
I have a table.
I have a question for Hanson.
Nice.
I've
Yes.
got a jar of dirt. I haven't really.
You found your armored friend.
Yeah, they reappeared on a rainbow.
Of course. The rainbow made birth not an hour ago.
Hey, Hanson, did you know the
yeah,
gods are
yeah.
real?
Ah, oui. I pray to them every voyage. I have,
Which one?
Yeah, but I mean like really real, not like religion-y real, you know?
Oui, I am free. I have never been caught by the authorities in any lands that they would be looking for me, and there are many.
Every motherfucker knew about this apart from me.
I have never met one, but I have faith that they are real.
Oh,
Yeah.
right, faith. No, I meant that they're like real, not like, you know.
Quill, you're missing the point. The faith real and real are the same thing.
Yes, it turns out, but that's what I'm saying. That's the revelation.
Come, drink.
Wait, Handsome. Are there any decent tattooists in this area or in Paras?
Decent art or magic?
Either, both?
In the docks?
Oh, not necessarily this area, no. Somewhere.
In the docks you will
I'm
find
not going to
some
end up with syphilis.
No, in the docks you will find some of the finest tattooists artistically in all of Paris. For more magical tattoos, it is more expensive, and it is a practice that is reserved for a much nicer neighborhood.
Where would I find either? A good art tattooist around here?
I can point. Do you have a map?
Actually, yes. And I'll grab my book out of my bag and be like, so here is all of Paras, and here is the narrowed down docks area. Oh, wait, you can't see this. Shit.
Do you have a map of the city, like a normal map that is
Yes,
not
we
a black
do.
book?
Yeah, let's use that. And I'll put the book away and go, okay. Yeah.
He marks 2 locations for a tattooist in the docks, and 1 location in the Merchants' Quarter of Paris for the more
Will they
magical
tattoo
tattoos.
humans in the Merchants' Quarter?
I have known humans to be tattooed. Normally, it would need to be paid for by their owners, but I am sure one of you could concoct such a lie. It would
I don't
not be
mind
too
coming
difficult.
along and posing as some arrogant prick.
Actually, that would be great. Thank you. But for the docs, I don't think that would be necessary. Is there any specific name I should ask for?
In the docks. Yes, Francois.
That narrows it down, I'm sure.
Francois the tattooist.
Save the milk, innit?
However, if you would like something more delicate and detailed, I would ask for Geneviève. Geneviève. Geneviève.
What?
Geneviève.
When the DM wasn't expecting you to ask for something. Yeah, I'm
Where
looking
are
for
you
a
from?
librarian. Yeah,
His
you
name's
got
Bookman.
Frank the librarian.
No, Mr. Bookman.
No, those.
My dad literally knew someone knows of someone recently who was referred to as Die Death.
The Undertaker.
Yeah.
As you
By the coffin.
approach Handsome's table, can everyone roll me a perception check, please?
Yes,
Heck yeah.
please.
I'm gonna roll a frog.
18!
At die went
Oh
away.
no!
11.
So do you remember my last perception check was 22? It was outstanding. 8.
I rolled a 7.
Mine wasn't the lowest.
So, hang on. You rolled a what, Greg?
17.
Ace?
But 11, sorry, yeah.
Dice?
8. I'm thinking about tattoo designs.
And it was 17 for Oriana, yeah?
18.
18, sorry. As you all are approaching the table then, Oriana, you notice in the booth next to Handsome, it's completely empty, apart from one familiar Durgar holding a tankard. Very familiar tankard you've seen before, sitting there, not even sipping it, just cradling his tankard in his hands, sitting there alone. And it is having seen this Durgar that we're going to leave it there for a break because it's 9 o'clock. So yes, it is 9 o'clock.
Replenished my fluids.
I really need to leave this room. It's so warm.
Okay,
I need a
sorry. Yes, so please join us, or stick around. We'll be back in about 10-15 minutes. While we're off, please go check out Loki Battle Mats, Blink Dog Dice, and if you can, please click on the link, and if you can, donate. Don't feel bad if you can't, obviously, but if you can, please donate. It is a very worthwhile cause. And if you donate more than a £5, for every £5 you donate, you can be put into a pot to win some awesome prizes. But yeah, we'll be back.
Don't forget to follow Heavyweighter PG.
Yes,
if you're not
Heavyweight
already following.
RPG, and get as many people as you can to follow Heavyweight RPG as well.
You'll find it's pronounced Heavyweighter PG, actually.
We will see you in a bit. Thank you.
Cannibal Run!
Welcome back! Yes, part 2 of episode 68 of the Chronicles of Nidum. Cannonball Run? What?
I thought you said cannibal.
I heard cannibal.
Cannibals do run. They've got to keep their
Or
fitness levels
cannibal.
up
Yeah.
because they're
Oh,
hunting
not
people.
back. On my screen, the screen's not back.
On my screen, it is, and he's gone straight back to the screen with everyone. He hasn't gone to like his
we're there.
talky screen.
Alright, I refreshed mine, it's worked now. It was still playing the ads.
You're in a little bit. You're a little bit dark on screen, babe. People aren't getting the full beauty of my wife. There we go. Perfect.
But yes, where we left off, you had very well, upon arriving at the table that Handsome had reserved for himself, Oriana, you would notice that on the table next to his, there was a very familiar Durgar.
Durgar.
The one you would see sitting in the same place every day on the train.
Is he looking around, or is he just start there staring off into space again?
He seems to be staring at his cup.
I'm gonna go buy a pitcher and take the pitcher over to him.
Okay.
So a pitcher of ale. However much that's gonna cost me.
Copper. In this place. It's about a copper.
Yeah. I'm gonna go over to the table with the pitcher then and top up his cup.
His hand does not move. He doesn't seem to react to his cup being filled. However, after a moment, you do get a mumbled, "Thank you."
No problem.
No other
Nothing.
movement from him.
Okay. I'll leave the pitcher with him.
Roll me. What could
Are you saying that he's got your picture?
He's coming with me.
Dear Maria, come in.
Roll me an insight check, I think would be the closest to this one.
A dirty 20.
Though his voice only sounded for a moment, can't quite place it, but it's familiar.
For a 20, she can't place it?
You've heard his voice before. Not from a Durgar, but you've heard his voice before.
I could tell that as well. I don't remember where from though. It's really fucking irritating me.
And you
I feel like you're just rubbing it in, to be
You're
honest.
thinking back to... You find yourself thinking back to the garden in the Underdark. And the island in the centre. The figure begging you for release from the tree. The voice coming from a young girl. And then...
I sit down opposite him.
Ask him for some battle maps.
And what are you doing here?
He looks up at you. Under a heavy brow. Out from under his hood. And kind of gestures down to the drink in his hand. Can I not come to a tavern and have a drink?
No, you can. I'm just wondering why here. Wouldn't you prefer to be under a tree?
I have found that anywhere you are due to frequent, interesting things happen.
That's definitely one way of putting it.
Otherwise, I would not have spent almost a month on the slowest form of transport that this empire has created.
Well, anytime I tried to drag you into the fun, you didn't seem that interested.
I am more of a voyeur.
Are you now?
I like to watch. Possibly manipulate the outcomes from the sidelines. Though you and your friends did not need much manipulating.
No, we can be pretty chaotic on our own.
It is quite fun to watch. Why are you in Paris?
Why should I tell you that?
Then I might tell you why I am in Paris.
You've already said you want to follow us because stuff happens around us.
That got me here. It is not what keeping me.
Meeting and making friends.
Are we friends?
I don't know, are we?
You have done me a great service.
And have you behaved since then?
What do you think?
I don't want to know, if I'm entirely honest.
I cannot behave and also be the god of mischief. It does not work.
No, and I haven't exactly behaved either, so who am I to judge?
You will have no trouble from me. However, I might have need of you.
Of me or face?
Of all of you.
Ah.
Ace's leanings towards my brother are no business of mine, though I do not enjoy their taste.
Not everyone can handle the mischief.
Not everyone has tried. But once I am done in my musings and my findings, I may have need of your services.
Do you know where to find us?
The Horizon Hotel?
That's the one. Why a Durga?
I had a friend who was a dwarf. He was a great sculptor, very easy to manipulate. Showed my brother some fun times.
I see. And a dwarf wouldn't really go down well now.
Did you know that Mjolnir's handle was supposed to be much longer?
Why?
Because it was funny.
Right.
It's not my
Well-
fault my brother could still lift it and wield it as easily as if it had a longer handle.
Clever brother.
They're
Next you'll tell me you once turned into a snake and stabbed him.
That is Thor propaganda. It is not true. He tells
No,
many
you
he
wouldn't.
tells many lies about me.
I wouldn't have thought you would pull such a cheap trick.
Exactly. It was a spider.
How many knives?
As many as can be held by a spider. So 8.
But then where were your legs?
Walk.
And he just kind of like holds his hands up a little. Magic.
Good point.
Like, God. Hello.
Yes, yes.
I am done watching what I came here for. Though his disguise does not leave up much to a little bit more scrutiny. I will take my leave of you.
Have fun, Loki.
It is not looking like this.
What are you looking like this?
Röga
Verg.
the Durga.
Yeah, I got it.
Right,
Have fun,
has-
Vergav the Durga.
Bryce put Loki in this so that he could beat me for a little bit. Bryce just channeling me back at us. This is
Um,
all
Yeah, the
punishment.
Durga's got a beard, right? His Durga form's got a beard, right?
It does not.
I give you a clean-shaven Durgar. That's awful.
And weird.
His name's Rurgar the Durgar. I don't think not weird was like top of the priority list.
And he kind of stands
Okay.
up and his goblet disappears. And he walks out.
I'm gonna pick up the rest of the picture and walk back over to the guys with the picture.
Okay.
Hey, you've got a picture.
Are you coming with me?
If you're pouring. Who was your friend there?
Oh, we spent some time with him. Well, we saw him on the train.
Mm-hmm. But you knew I didn't see you speak to him. Did you have a secret friendship that you weren't telling us about?
Oh no, it was sort of a mutual. We'd see each other. He spent a lot of time in the bar, and I would go to the bar quite a bit. And it was just,
Can I insight check Oriana?
Yeah, I was going to also ask for an insight check.
go for it.
You absolutely can.
She's
That
very
was
Can I
persuasive.
roll deception?
Yes, you can.
Uh-oh. Oh no, the tables. They've turned.
I think it went well. I got 20. 19 plus 1.
I got a 2.
27.
Yeah, as far as
Why is it? I never know when any fucker is lying to me.
Looks like the worm is on the other foot.
yes.
We saw each other on the train. Decided to see if I could get a conversation out of him this time.
I believe you.
Yeah.
Hey, do you want to know some juicy gossip?
This
Oh.
time.
Oh, and Ace.
Mm-hmm.
Loki's about.
Oh.
When did you see Loki?
So.
Just now.
Oh, okay.
I throw a peanut at Ori that I found on the table. It makes me feel better. It does not hit.
Off the throw peanut.
I didn't roll. I just decided it
Although
didn't hit.
he's Rurgar the Durgar in this form.
Loki the god.
For
mischief,
someone
yes.
who's lived as long as Loki, that is a very unimaginative name. But
He's
very
a clean-shaven Durgar, Ace.
It's
I've got
like
so
a-
many questions about how that
Very
man's
well.
brain works.
He very well
Fitting.
may have used all of the creative ones and does not want to revisit. Perhaps.
It seems very mischievous to mischievous. Mischievous?
Mischievous.
It seems very in character to choose a deliberately infuriating name.
You don't seem as surprised that we have a relationship, if you like, with Loki.
With a god.
Listen, the first time someone tells you they've been chatting with a god, it's very surprising. The second time they tell you it's been chatting with a god, they've been chatting with a god, you start to suspect they might be insane. But then, after a certain point, you either cut ties with these people, or just start to accept it.
Would it surprise you more to know that we freed Loki from Yggdrasil in the center of a very fancy underground garden?
Also, that is a god that's actually walking on our plane.
Is the god in your debt
Oh,
for this?
Sort of.
Yeah, kinda. It's complicated.
Wasn't as simple as that.
Either way, apparently he's got some jobs for us, but he knows to find us at the horizon when he's ready to tell us what it is.
I hope working for a god pays well.
Not usually.
No.
Well, you said you had gossip.
Oh, yes. Oriana, Kiara, is a very interesting soul.
How so?
She is deeply, madly, and truly in love with your brother.
That's sweet.
Phantom sitting with us.
It
like,
is sweet.
She seems
but
quite dedicated to him.
it is sweet, but it's also a little bit intense.
Oh, she's not
She-
obsessed with him, is she?
Oh, that would be the mildest possible way you could put it. She was about
I thought
ready to
she
put
looked at Ori like she was going to stab her.
I
Yeah,
thought there was something.
she was very ready to put a knife right through your more sensitive parts, up until the moment she found out that you were related. She had some very complimentary things to think about you, though.
I mean, the sensitive parts, the stabbing is a concern.
She doesn't want to anymore.
No, I think it's when she thought I was a threat to her love.
Yeah, she thought Oriana was
Very
going to be
concerning.
a pretty challenging romantic rival.
And I've already had one close brush with almost incense. I'd rather.
But she's pretty intent on becoming queen of the underground domain there.
All the best to her.
Weird. Gross.
Yeah, I would. If I were your brother, I would be a little concerned. She seems like the type of person to, like, you know, if he decides to leave, put both of his break both of his kneecaps with a sledgehammer, and keep him tied up in a cabin. I got strong misery vibes from her.
Well, having met my brother, I don't think she'll be able to.
Misery, by the way, is a book that was in my library. It's by Sir Stephen of King.
I see.
Okay.
It's actually a very good read. I recommend it. If we had access to my library, I would lend it to you.
I'm just guessing it doesn't end well for the guy in it, but I've met my brother, and I don't think it would end well for her if she tried.
We shall see, I guess.
Never underestimate the determination of an obsessed paramour.
All the best to her. Maybe they'll be very happy together. If he even thinks of her that way, there might be something going on between the two of them.
That was not my impression.
Oh. Okay.
But, you know, it's possible that, you know, it might work out.
Well, if she... Oh, the Master. That's what you called him, yeah? Yes. The one you're in trouble with.
You know the guy from Doctor Who?
I met him. Yeah, he's lovely.
You might say that.
I could put in a good word. I'm gonna go see him again tomorrow. I could maybe eventually talk to him and suggest. Depends on how bad it is what you did.
What did you do?
Yes, what did you do? I'm fascinated.
He lost a shipment.
Of what?
That's that's the question I wanted to have the answer to. Oh, people, right? No?
Well, we.
How careless.
What happened to the people, Handsome?
I'm sure they are sunning themselves on our beautiful beach.
What was supposed to happen to the people?
Slavery?
Why would he be involved in that?
Oh no, I need to ask him about that actually.
I think
Yeah, I'm not sure I love your brother's vibe currently.
There's a couple of things I need to speak to him about, but I have just met him, and as you know, the only relation between us is.
I get it. It's okay.
You just yeah.
I get it.
No, it's more that Quill just referred to him as my brother in front of Handsome.
Yeah, Handsome is looking a bit shocked.
I apologize.
Keep it to yourself, Handsome.
Perhaps the wine was a little stronger than I thought.
I am the epitome of discretion.
I just look at him with doubt.
You better be, or I shall make you into a cloak.
And we can do that.
I'm pretty good with a knife.
I was going to say,
if you want me to put in a good word, it's probably a good idea for you to keep your mouth shut.
Oui, the threats were not needed, but I get the picture.
The threats were needed because we will protect our friend no matter what.
Oui.
But anyway, I've only just met him, and I've only just found out that he's related, and yeah, I once I've spoke to him a bit more, I'm sure I can at least suggest that you be allowed down there again.
Merci. Thank you.
Maybe even give you a chance to plead your case to him directly.
I'm just going to go to the bar, like sneak off for a second, and buy the nicest possible spirit they have as an apology to Handsome and poke it across the table to him.
As you return to the bar, or from the bar, you start walking back to the bar and you notice that a young tiefling waitress is walking almost step in step with you. Is that kind of awkward social thing where you both notice that you're walking at exactly the same speed next to each other and neither of you want to speed up or slow down and just kind of smile and awkwardly nod? And
no, I'm immediately suspicious.
she's carrying a tray of drinks. And when you eventually get back to the table, she places it down on the table and looks at Oriana. You have been bought some drinks by the winner of the bout.
Oh,
And she kind of nods over on one of the other booths, and he's kind of sitting there. And as he catches your eye, he just raises his glass to you.
I pick one of them up and raise it back to him. Handsome, who is he?
I have no idea. I am not in Paris that often. Though from the talk around the tavern, he's someone who comes in and gets his ass beaten as often as he wins. But he puts on a good show. It lasts for quite a few rounds. He seems to...
It looked like it when we came up.
He appears to have a great stamina. But he looks like he just enjoys fighting.
I should probably go say hello, shouldn't I?
Well, he bought you a lot of
Politely,
drinks. Handsome, an apology, and I poke the drink to him. And how much did I pay for that?
2 silver.
Wow. That's so much money. We have 1 million gold. This doesn't bother me.
I'm gonna take my drink over to this guy.
Okay.
Thank you.
Merci, madame. Please sit.
Okay. So I sit with him.
It is very, very seldom that I get the chance to have the company of someone as beautiful as you. Your horns are magnificent.
Thank you.
It is a rare sight, I believe, in places like this.
Yes. Yes, they are.
And also, I was led to believe in the history books that tieflings were red.
Yes, usually. Color can vary.
They have a very distinctive color. There are, and he kind of looks around and goes a bit quieter, some stories coming out of Albion.
Is there now?
Especially in places like this, you hear some things.
And what have you been hearing?
Well, it's quite a lucrative bounty on the head of a purple tiefling and her entourage that was lifted quite recently, I believe.
And are you interested in that bounty?
No, you misunderstand. The bounty was lifted. It is not raised. It is not more. It is lifted. It is
Taken.
No, it is gone.
Strange. Obviously, I've been behaving myself too much.
That was you.
Maybe.
You were once accused of trying to murder the Prince of the Empire.
It's a lot of bullshit.
Well, you are safe from the bounty now, though it appears the Empire are still looking for you for other reasons. Apparently new evidence came to light and there is only one culprit for the burns that the prince suffered.
And who is that culprit?
It is unknown. His only description was evil sack of cloth. Very powerful, do not approach.
Yes. I think I know who. They don't travel with us anymore.
Is this perhaps why you were safe?
Maybe.
Though the Empire are, as I said, still looking for you.
I'm sure they are.
Your name,
And I
madam?
s- Give me yours first.
I am Jean-Claude.
Jean-Claude.
Oui. My friends call me Jean. You may call me whenever you like.
Sorry, Anna.
It is a pleasure, Oriana. That is, Elvish, oui?
I believe so.
I do
Not
know
uncommon.
much. I do not know much, but I believe it is Elvish.
What race is he?
Roll me a perception check.
12.
12.
Hmm.
As far as you can tell, sitting across the table from him, human.
We live in an elven empire. Why would it be strange for me to have an elven name?
Many of the tieflings have known tend to have a more traditional tiefling name. They are named for virtues or sins. You are named for the stars, for the light.
I'm also the wrong colour.
Oui. You, they broke the mold with you, oui?
Maybe.
Your
What
friends.
do you want?
What do you mean? That is a very forward question.
You know there was a bounty on me. You know that the empire still wants me.
I wanted to know why. I am
Your guess is as good as mine.
I am an inquisitive sort.
I hate that word.
What sort?
Inquisitive.
Ah, oui, yes. It is too close to Inquisitor or Inquisition.
Hmm.
I promise I am not a member of the Inquisition, or do I hold them favorably?
You say so.
And
Can
he
I roll
looks-
insight check on him?
Yeah, go for it.
13.
As far as you can tell, he's hiding something, but in what he's actively said to you, it doesn't appear to be lying. But he does look past you as the conversation continues at the door of the tavern. And you do see two elven guards walk in and start moving around tables, asking questions of people. Unfortunately, it is perhaps time I should leave. It is
I
very
see
nice. Pardon?
You're in trouble with the guard as well, then.
You could say that. Au revoir, Oriana. It was a pleasure to meet you, finally.
Goodbye, Jean-Claude.
And he gets up and kind of maneuvers himself around the room as the guards go through. And then, as he's getting to the door, he takes a cup off a passing waitress's tray and smashes it on the floor. And as he does so, he smiles at you and then waves at the guards and then runs out the door. And the guards drop everything they're doing and rush out the door after him. If he had waited a moment longer, the guards would have got to the table full of your friends.
Okay. Maybe not that bad. I head back over to my table.
Okay.
Did we notice that the guards were heading over to us?
Yes.
Well, his name is Jean-Claude, and he hates the Empire and is apparently in trouble with them as well. Oh, and apparently the bounty's been lifted from us.
So why were the guards heading over to our table?
Oh, the Empire still wants something to do with us, but the bounty seems to just be for sepsis now. Some evidence came to light that they were at fault for the incident.
I mean,
Well,
that's
evidence.
accurate.
What evidence?
No, I didn't get much of a chance when the guards came in.
It is accurate. Well, that's creepy, Waffle. It's the eye.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm really
How
distracted.
dare you call my son creepy?
Look at it.
Yeah, it's a fair point.
Perhaps it is time for us to go somewhere less public for a bit.
Yes, I feel a return to
What
the hotel.
time is it? I look at my watch.
After all of the travel you did and your conversations in the underworld, you're looking at it's around about 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Maybe we should head back to the hotel.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea.
I feel that my luncheon has been delayed unnecessarily, and I'm quite hungry, actually.
I am hungry too.
But you didn't try the probably rat.
I didn't try the rat.
We
in
didn't try
in
the rat.
underworld? Okay.
And Ace has been away for years and hasn't eaten, so probably needs some food.
Yeah. Just not
Or-
as often as I would have liked.
Things like boar, deer.
We'll go back to the room and order some food up to the room.
They were fighting Draugr, so maybe even sausages.
You didn't know about that?
That was
Discuss
out of
plan.
character.
Oh, okay.
I don't think
Head
Quill
back to the
knows.
hotel.
I don't think Quill knows enough about Valheim to make jokes about it.
How far away from the slums are we?
It's going to take you about 20 minutes to get back to the hotel. It would probably take you walking about 45 minutes to get to the slums.
I'll go later, but on the walk back to the hotel, I want to look for any herbalists.
Okay. Cool.
Thank you.
I am weed, Millie.
What?
Are you buying
It's
weed?
like you buying weed.
No, but
I'm packing if you want.
Alright.
Where are you getting it? You haven't gone shop. You haven't gone to a dealer or anything.
he burgled a market stall before we even left and probably has quite a large supply.
Must be getting low on that.
If you remember rightly, when we went to the shop, it was my granny's shop, and I got a bunch of supplies out of the floorboards.
I do remember that. Surely you must be running low on it by now.
It's my emergency stash.
The last of the long bottom leaf.
Neville Longbottom?
No.
I know.
Okay.
I mean, he was a herbologist.
It's true.
Anyway, let's go back to Horizon.
Via a herbalist.
Captain Handsome
If I see
wishes you
one.
well as you leave. You know, on the way back, a herbalist is probably going to be on the other side of town in the merchant's quarter.
What were you after?
I need some sort of healing herbs and basic medicinal supplies for the humans in the slums. A specific human, Aunt Alice. She's quite scary.
I have a herbalism kit.
I know, but I don't want to take what you have. It would make more sense to keep that in case of emergencies.
Yeah, except that I can heal with magic.
It's a good point. We don't really use the herbalism kit.
Yeah, it's just.
Do you have a herbalism kit?
Yeah, I have a herbalism kit. I have a flute as well.
That
Oh, me
is
too.
freaking genius, Oriana. Yes, I would
Yes,
love
I know.
to
We
have
talked
that
about dueling flutes last week.
Fair enough. I forgot that.
Yes.
Yeah, I
Thank
hand
you.
over the herbalism kit.
Um,
I'm not getting up, Waffle. Parent, preemie parent.
I will head back to the hotel then with everyone else.
So eventually, 20 minutes passes. There's many, many people in the streets now.
People on the streets.
It appears the closer it gets to the beginnings of the festivities for the young prince's birthday, the louder the streets are getting. The more and more people coming in. When you get back to the hotel district, the streets are a lot busier than they were when you left that morning or that lunchtime. It seems that many more airships or trains are coming in from other parts of the land, and many more people are now. You can see people walking into, and then some walking out of, still with all of their luggage with them, all of the hotels around you. The Horizon is the least busy hotel. It would appear it is reserved for the high rollers and yourselves.
Hey!
We're high
that's really
rollers.
insulting.
no,
You mean
We're high
hand-
rollers.
No, it's reserved for people who've actually got 1,000,000 gold, alright? But yes, you make your way back to the hotel. The maitre d' greets you. The lobby is almost empty apart from the staff. They do look like they make to move towards you, but noticing that, you haven't brought back anything or anything that needs carrying that you didn't leave with originally, they just kind of nod and go back to their position. You make
I
your way.
wave.
I'm going to go over to the maitre d'.
Mhm.
Is it the same one we've been talking to the whole time?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, would it be possible to have a late lunch, early dinner taken up to the room?
Oui, of course. The chef is ready. I will send up just a full picking platter, samples.
Yes, perfect.
Oui, I will have it sent up to our room as quickly as possible.
I am dying for a pheasant. Does the chef have a pheasant? I would kill or die for one.
Monsieur, if you can wait a few minutes more, I will have the one sent out for. Pheasant was not on the menu this evening, but I can procure one from the hotel next door, and we will have it sent up to you. It may be slightly later than the rest of the platter, but it will be prepared especially for you.
I am in love with you.
Actually, Dice's reaction.
Merci, monsieur. We aim to please at the horizon.
You
I just
aim.
grab Quill by the shoulders from behind and just maneuver.
I go over to the maitre d' because this is fun. I go, on a
I'm
slightly
sure in a
less-
hotel it's a concierge. This has been bothering me for a while, and I
Concierge.
managed to keep it.
Concierge.
Concierge. Fine, concierge.
Okay, I go over to the concierge, and I say,
Concierge.
on a far more reasonable note, could I hire another carriage for about an hour's time, give or take, but with a human driver, please?
Oui, Cloud is available if you wish to.
I thought it was his day off. He was supposed to visit his aunt. Yes, Cloud will do fine. I need to have words with him.
Very well.
Very unreasonable.
It was his day off. He is the night taxi. His shift starts in an hour.
As long as he went to his aunt's for lunch. Thank you.
I could not comment on the movements of the staff around when they are not working.
I can. Thank you for your help. Then I'll go upstairs.
He looks
He looks.
very confused. But yes, you all eventually get back to your room.
I get out my jug. I get out my jug and I cast Identify as a ritual. I get out my jug.
Millie's playing with her jugs.
I'm
Okay.
playing with my jug. Da, 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 da.
Okay. So you sit down in the center of the suite, take out your jug, and cast Identify as a ritual. What's everyone
Yes,
else
what
doing?
the fuck is in this jug?
Oh,
I take out my jugs, but completely different.
I
No,
am. I actually do have something I want to do.
Okay.
I'm taking out a little set of paints that I have, and I'm going to start. I'm going to start painting a purple rose on probably some table or something. And when I finish, I pick up the rose because I use Knowles' marvelous pigments,
Okay.
and I hand it to Ariana and say, "This is an apology for my indiscretion in the tavern."
What indiscretion?
Your brother, Ori.
You mentioning your
Oh!
quiet, you're doing a ritual. Yes, your familial relations.
Oh,
mentioning
don't-
that in front of.
Don't worry about it, Quill. It was an easy enough mistake to make.
Oh.
I don't even know who I should be telling myself, or if I should be telling anyone. I don't even know if I should have told you lot.
The rose is painted now, and it's for you.
It's beautiful, thank you.
You're very welcome.
Okay.
Has food come up yet? Once food's up, I grab a plate, I take it to my room, and I'm going to eat and smoke.
Food appears almost at the same time that Dice finishes their ritual.
Ace is gonna gorge.
Okay.
They're very hungry and very tired.
Ace, while you're pretty sure that you took on sustenance
Mm-hmm.
while you were away, you have never felt hungrier in your life. So you do
Sure
quite
didn't.
happily gorge on the food. And then a few minutes after that, a piping hot pheasant is also brought up with like a red wine gravy and dice.
What is in the fucking jug? There's context outside of the stream, I swear.
This is a jug of molten bronze skin.
Ew.
It is a magical armor that appears and inhabits a jug. It is
Okay.
cold to the touch, but it is liquid bronze. If it were to be attuned to, it could adhere to the contours of your body. It can be worn if you wish under normal clothes, or appear on top of them. It does not in any way, shape or form impede bodily functions. Once you put it on, it cannot be removed unless you choose to do so. While wearing the armor, you have resistance to fire damage, and it also would class as full plate and does not impose disadvantage on stealth checks.
Could I put it over my existing armor? It says clothes. Because, yeah, sure, it counts as full plate, but I have... Wait, I shouldn't use this. There is someone else who should use this and would use it better. Cool, thank you.
Roll me an Arcana check.
Okay. Okay, that's a 14. And my Arcana is ridiculous. Yeah, I rolled a 14, so it's 23.
Okay. Following on from the effects then of the Identify spell, this is armor specifically for an armorer.
For an armorer.
Can only be attuned by an artificer.
Mm.
However, it cannot be worn under or over your current armor. With
Can
that,
it become
with
part?
that kind of Arcana check, with a little bit of work, you could probably mix them.
I think I'd have to, otherwise I'd lose all the benefits of my existing armor, and then would the abilities of it transfer between Guardian and Infiltrator?
You're an armorer, so the magical transference between Infiltrator and Guardian is something you decide to do regardless of what armor you are using for the transformation. You make that armorer armor.
Hmm.
You'd need to do a bit of tinkering.
Oh no.
You hate tinkering. God,
Okay.
this is going to be terrible.
Okay, I will at it, and for now put it back in my bag. Because I think if once I've eaten, it'll be time to go and meet Cloud.
You also understand that with the increased malleability of that armor, the fact that it is liquid and when attuned to you, you could pretty much command it to do what you wanted to. Any modifications that you wanted to make to the armor, like for example, an acid cannon, a Molotov thrower, improving your arm cannons, improving the armor in general, would probably be a lot easier.
Would the adamantine armor still exist?
With that Arcana check you just did, given enough tinkering successes, you could incorporate the adamantine armor in it. So effectively, you could wear it, and with a thought, hide it. So
Hide.
just be wearing normal clothes. And then suddenly with a thought, you're covered in armor again.
But doesn't it go
No,
over
no.
my face?
If you wanted to.
Oh, okay. So I'm literally working out where I want it to be at any given time. Would that
Be
make
like,
it...
like Iron Man's thing.
The underskin armor.
Would that make it faster to switch between infiltration and guardian, or would it still require a short rest?
It would depend on your tinkering successes.
I'm going to need to spend some time, but not tonight.
Okay.
I'm going to eat.
Okay. What are the rest of you doing? Well, Oriana is eating and
Getting high and eating.
Getting high and eating.
I'm in my feels.
Because I go high.
When my pheasant arrives, I would actually like to go and, because I think Charlie said Oriana's taken her food into her room.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'd actually like to go and knock and see if Oriana's available for a quick chat.
Okay. Oriana, are you available for a quick chat?
Yeah, I don't know what state I'm in, but sure.
Roll me a con save.
Oh, 19. I'm fine.
Yeah, you're alright. You're fine.
Oriana, do you have a moment?
Yeah, sure, come in.
I just wanted to check in and see if you were all right. You've had a bit of a heavy day, lots of revelations, and you disappeared pretty quickly behind closed doors when we got here. I wanted to make sure that everything was okay with you.
I'll be fine. I've gone through worse. And if I'm entirely honest, learning about my family is interesting, but I've never really cared too much.
No.
Knowing where I come from is nice, I suppose. But Granny raised me, and that's all that really mattered.
Do you find it troubling at all to know that your mortal side is elven?
I mean, it could have been something better, but it's not exactly like I am a half-elf. I'm a tiefling.
Yes.
It's two different things came together to create a third completely different thing.
True. Yes. I don't think that I'm not a big sins of the father person. I don't think that having elven relatives taints you in any way. You live your life in a
No, and we've met good elves.
yes. Nothing's I don't think anything's determined at birth. What about your brother? How was meeting someone who you're related to and who seems to be living an interesting life?
I'm desperate to see him again.
Yes?
Regardless of being my brother or not, seeing another tiefling is... It gets tiring, Quill, being repeatedly told that you're beautiful, you're unique, you've never been seen, another creature of your purity has ever been seen before. It's possibly one of the fastest ways to piss me off now. So seeing another tiefling who looks at you and goes, yeah, pretty good, was... Although he was more complimentary than that, but I think that's more because I'm his sister and I have wings and he doesn't.
If it's any consolation, I think you're a 6 at best.
Thanks.
I wasn't being entirely truthful. I just thought that would be what you wanted to hear.
I know. And this is all that counts.
I do try. Your friends are. I haven't known you all for that long, but it's pretty clear that they would fight a titan for you. It worries me to see you shut yourself away after you've had such an emotionally draining day, because I know that they'd love to be there for you.
And they are there for me. They're just outside the door if I need them.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure that you weren't.
I'm okay, Quill. Mostly I shut myself away when I smoke because not everyone's a fan of it. And it's how I process my thoughts.
I think I'm in Dionysus's religion now. I think he would approve.
You're going to actually follow him now?
It seemed rude not to. He gave me some very nice wine.
He'll do that.
I'm very confused by it all. I've always been a bit of a cynic. I don't know if you've noticed.
Do you want
Probably you have.
my advice? Just sit back and let it happen.
That's funny. That's what that's what my first love said as well.
That's not a good no.
Oh, she was a little more experienced than me. I
Ah,
learned a lot.
right. That makes more sense, I guess. I don't know. Yeah. Pray when you can. They might not be able to answer because not many gods. Well, if what Hades is saying about the crystals blocking him, it might be blocking other gods, but
I don't really know how to pray. I tried praying in that temple, and I think, if I'm honest, I think I came across as a bit of a douchebag.
you find your own way. It's not always a ritual, it's not always deep and meaningful. It can be just a thought.
I
Just
shall
acknowledge that they're there.
I shall spend some time thinking about what my my family's patron would want from me.
Wine and women.
Wonderful vices.
And not just women.
Oh no, why would one limit oneself?
Dionysus does not limit themselves at all.
It seems you know more about him than I.
I follow Hades, but he's still a Grecian god. I can't follow one and ignore the others. I just have one in particular that I pay the most attention to.
It means a lot to me, my my new friendship with the three of you. I don't want
Good.
to.
Just don't stab us in the back.
I have no intention of it.
I know. That's nice.
I haven't.
Spent most of my time with Sepsis aware that they were not a good person. And just
Why
let
did
it
you travel
happen.
with them?
They were there. Let it happen.
It's
There's some things not worth fighting or changing.
sounds very difficult.
Not really. My nature does dictate that sometimes I don't do the good thing.
Your nature.
As a tiefling.
You think you're constrained by that?
Not as much as some people would believe. I know I'm capable of doing the good thing, and I can do the good thing, and I have done the good thing.
You did some very good things on that train.
And I did some very bad things too.
I hope you're not thinking of disposing of those inquisitors as one of the bad things.
It depends on who looks at it. Look, they needed to go, and I'm aware of that, but it was still murder.
The Inquisition is not a morally neutral organization, Oriana. They are
No. I am aware of that,
vile
though.
and vicious.
But they
and
are still living
one-
and breathing with feelings and emotions, regardless of their beliefs, and they've also all been indoctrinated as they grow older, so.
True, but also each one of them that you killed has spared hundreds, or at least dozens of people from.
Which is why I have no
torture, pain,
qualms
and
with
death.
what I have done.
Okay, I shall
They
leave you to
needed
your
to
thoughts
die.
if you prefer.
They needed to go. I wish there was another way. But also, set the world on fire.
Well, if anyone can,
One day I just might.
just point where I should stand when you do it. I'm very flammable. It's the fur.
A large body of water.
Sounds wise. I shall invest in a boat.
I'm okay, Quill. And
Promise?
thank you. Yeah, I'm fine.
Good. I'll leave you to it.
I'm probably gonna go to sleep soon, so.
I am going to absolutely fucking demolish this pheasant.
Yeah, have fun with that.
I will.
Mm-hmm.
Night.
Good night. But demolishing a pheasant to the vegetarian of the group, like, yeah, okay, you do that.
While this is happening, dice ace.
Yeah, I'm mostly just sitting there, still drawing designs while eating absent-mindedly with a fork, being like, I'm really glad you're back. I was worried about you.
I'm very glad to be back. I don't remember much now. It's all faded. But I do remember missing you all very much.
Is it going to happen again?
I hope not.
It's
Well,
just...
it's nice that I have like these connections. It's just yeah, I don't want to lose out on 4 years again.
It's an honor to be chosen, though. Surely.
Yeah, you're back.
Oh, sorry, I didn't. I thought that was.
It's in. You're back now. That's fine.
No, you're back. It's cool. And we spent the first 20 minutes sitting there just munching. It's cool. It is a worry that if it happens several times, you'll get older and older and older. You could message your god and be like, hey, dude, this is cool, but actually I'd like to live my whole life.
I might just need to study the hammer a little more.
Maybe that would help. If you need any help, I'd be happy to help you look at it.
I'd appreciate it.
From a mechanical perspective, not so much a religious perspective. That's not...
I think, unfortunately, it might be an entirely religious thing.
I can still help.
You like research.
I sure do. I'm very excited now. I've thought of going to a library. I want to learn a lot more about... You know, I'm not even going to try and say Oriana's family name, but I would really like to go and try and find out more for her. I think she deserves to know where she came from.
Wasn't it colonic elephant, I think?
Colorida Flefle.
I know there was
Laura Lefon.
Colorida Fon.
Yes, that's what I said. Colonic elephant.
No, chlorine elephant.
Okay, chlorine elephant. Got it.
Is the window open in my room?
Be chloroform by the end of
we
the
don't know.
campaign. No.
I'm serious. Does the window open in my room?
Yes.
I'm going out the window.
Oh, okay.
Did you overhear us talking about the chlorine elephant?
No. No. Pretty much as soon as Quill left the room, I locked the door and went.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I've got wings. I fly down.
Okay.
Take.
That's fine.
Well,
You can
that'd be
carry on with everyone else
wings.
first.
Okay.
I was thinking the Space Jam song, Greg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
On a slightly different note, does anyone want to come with me to come and graffiti the human slums?
Yes.
Yeah?
What are
That's
we doing?
why I've got a friend coming to pick me up. I also need to visit his aunt and make sure that he went for lunch with her because he promised. But then I'm planning to get some advice from him on mostly frequented places. And
Do you know
Oh,
this
some
person's
graffiti.
aunt?
yeah, her name's Alice.
How did you and Alice meet?
Alice runs the place that the crazy gnome lives under. Ace came with me. Ace has met Alice.
Briefly.
Okay.
Oh, wait, yeah, briefly, because then you disappeared.
You seem to have made a strange number of friends for someone who's only been in the city very briefly. Is this? I look at Ace. Is this what Dice is usually like?
That's what most of us are like.
I see.
I mean, keep in mind, most of the time it doesn't happen because a lot of the time people won't talk to me like I'm, worthy of their time.
Most of the
But
population is elves, so
But if they do-
you three are the first friends that I've made under my own auspices, ever. So that's
Aww.
it's very alien to me.
I pat Quill on the shoulder somewhat awkwardly and go, here, have a cookie.
Thank you.
I can't imagine not having the friends I had growing up. Oriana and Ace too were a huge part of my childhood.
Oh, I had friends growing up. It's just that they were employed by my family.
It's not quite the same, I think.
No, I'm learning that. You guys feel a lot freer to disagree with me, which is it's different. It takes some getting used to, but it has its own charm. Actually, I'm finding.
Very few of Quill's childhood friends punched him upon first meeting them if he said something wrong.
It's true. It's a fact. None, you might say.
I think I prefer the friends I have to ones that were bought and paid to spend time with me. That seems sad. Mostly.
I mean, listen, I'm not going to complain too much about my life. Dice, I never wanted for anything, and I lived in extraordinarily luxurious circumstances. I was never expected to do anything hard and I never had to worry about much of anything. But it was a little lonely. If I'm going to nitpick.
Perhaps that makes your achievements that much greater. For us, the revelation of our place in the world was dropped on us very abruptly, and we had to adapt or die, basically, if I'm not to put too fine a point on it. But you chose. Yeah, right? But you chose to learn, and you chose to change your mind. And that takes a strength of spirit that not many have. You should be proud of yourself.
There's it's a very unique experience to learn in your 20s that the incredible life of ease, luxury, and privilege that you have that you were born into is based on a fundamental injustice, and I don't know what sort of person could learn that, and really know it, truly understand it, and continue to just sit there and benefit. I think that would be a very sad life.
That's the difference, though, isn't it? Most people don't bother to look into it any deeper. They accept the world as it is, and they don't want... People will do everything they can to avoid thinking about what they don't want to see.
I don't think I deserve this praise, Dice. I found a book. I wasn't researching this subject. The book.
No, but the book that you found, you could have not read. You could have read it and gone, huh, that seems weird, not relevant to my life. And you didn't. You instead chose to do... And you were visiting the human carriages in the hope of freeing some of them. A little misguided, perhaps, in the scale of things, but that wasn't your fault. You didn't know. But you were trying. That's brave. Whether you think so or not.
I appreciate it. It means a lot to me, especially coming from you.
Cookies. I don't take praise well.
Well, I mean, I look up to the three of you. You've lived a much more difficult. You have a much more difficult set of circumstances, and you've achieved so much.
Almost by necessity, though. We have gods interfering. No offense. We have circumstances that were out of our control. Had we been given the choice, we may well have carried on living our little lives, and I would have worked with the goblins to build things. I might have left the village, but maybe not. Or the town, I should say. But maybe not. Maybe I would have stayed.
Who can say?
I probably would have stayed with Pa.
Right?
Who can say where any of us would be if we didn't know what we knew?
Do you want to go cause some chaos?
Yes, please.
Ace, are you coming, or do you want to rest?
Yeah, sure, I'm in.
Cool. Let's go. There you go.
And you make your way down. The carriage is outside waiting for you. And Cloud happily has you on the carriage and takes you back to the human quarter.
As we get into the carriage, I go, and did you visit your aunt for lunch?
Yes, lunch and these 4 hours of her berating me. Thank you very much for that, by the way.
I pat him.
I take it we are returning?
Actually, yes. I need to go and... Hey, can you tell me some high traffic areas in the slums? Maybe mark them on my map here?
I can show you.
What we're doing is a little questionable. You're welcome to, but you may not want to.
I'll give you the 2 hour. You can choose and go back if you wish.
Perfect. Good choice.
And you make your way to the slums.
Are we going to be quite conspicuous in a Horizon carriage driving through the poorest parts of town?
I don't think we'll do the driving through the actual town. I think it would make more sense to do that bit on foot.
Seems sensible.
Oriana,
Yes.
so you've left out the window of the penthouse of the Horizon.
Yep.
All of Paras before you.
Yep.
What are you doing?
Heading back to the Broken Scimitar.
Okay.
And then down into Under Paris.
Are you... You're flying.
I've flown down.
Are you trying to stay out of sight? Are you just...
I have got my cloak on with the hood up. And I'm walking. I've only flown down from the penthouse. I'm walking through the streets, but I've got my cloak on because I've got the cloak of Elvenkind.
When you flew down
Hood up.
then,
I'm just walking.
roll me a stealth check.
I have advantage. Because I have the cloak on. Didn't really help, but... 16.
Okay. Now roll me a perception check when you land.
4.
Okay. Does not appear as if anyone noticed you. Nothing you can see anyway.
I know fucking DM talk when I hear it, no way.
And you make your way back to the Broken Scimitar.
Mm-hmm.
The crowd
I don't
is,
care if anyone sees me.
The crowd is very much the same. You can't see Captain Handsome. The Durgar
I'd be
has not
worried.
returned. But as you go behind the barmaid looks at what you're doing, recognizes you from earlier, and just averts her gaze as if she didn't notice. And you walk behind the bar and make your way down the steps.
Mm-hmm.
Where are you going? Back to
My brother's house.
Okay. You make your way back through. The festivities at this time have ended. It is a bit clearer. Less people on the streets. But you can see lights now from some of the the buildings that are in a better state than others that have been inhabited. Some by one family, some by 2 or 3. As you get to your brother's house, there does not appear to be anyone in the square. There's no one standing guard outside.
Is the door locked?
You try the door. It appears to be locked.
I knock the door.
Okay. After a minute or so, the door is opened. It appears Kiara kind of steps out. She pulls a nightgown around her. Ah, you have returned.
How tall is Kiara?
Kiara, she's maybe a couple of inches taller than you.
Taller than me.
She's very
What the fuck is
tall,
that with-
very thin.
Yeah, I'm fucking 6 foot. Would I be able to, just walk past her? Just brush my way into the house?
She does seem to be standing in the way, in a way that would stop you being able to do that.
Okay, so look, I'm not here to disturb your master. I just want to come in and talk to you, actually.
Roll a persuasion check.
Badly. 20 nat, not nat.
Okay. She looks like she's about to refuse you, but after a moment, just kind of looks around. I suppose that would be okay. Come. And she steps inside. The throne room is now lit. It's much brighter than it was when you were in there with Claw. However, Claw is nowhere to be seen. And you can see now, off in an alcove in one side, appears to be a desk. A few books open on it. There are candles burning on the desk. And she returns to her chair and gestures to one, also near the desk. And she closes the book that she may have been recently reading.
Can I see what the book was?
From where you are, in the light, yeah.
What was it?
It's in Shalem, a type of Shalem Elvish. It appears to be a trashy romance novel.
I pick it up to look at it.
And she kind of takes the book out of your hand as you do. You wanted to discuss something?
You're quite the romantic then.
There is very little to do down here sometimes, and I gaze at books that cross my path.
How did you meet your master?
I was to be sold as a slave. He saw the potential in me and freed me.
I've heard he deals with slaves quite a bit. Is that just in freeing them, or?
You are inquiring after your brother's business. Has he given you leave to do so?
He's my brother. I will inquire about anything I can. I only found out he existed today. If there's something you're not comfortable telling me, then that's fine.
Your brother's business concerns are his own. I only follow orders.
Then I'll ask him myself at another time. Yara, my friend earlier, the Tabaxi. He read your thoughts when we spoke at the doorstep.
She visibly kind of starts at this and just...
It's okay. I could recognize jealousy when I've seen it, and I understand why. I just want you to know I'm not a threat.
Roll a persuasion check again.
Nat 20
All right.
with a plus 14.
Okay.
That is a 34.
Christ. She's convinced. She gives you her firstborn child.
She very visibly and physically kind of exhales in relief. Thank you. I am so worried about him all of the time, and people come and they could take advantage of his kind heart that I know is in there somewhere. It is hard. It is good to know, though, that he has met in you a kind soul who is not going to try and take advantage of him.
I have no reason to. Like I said, I don't even know what he deals in, or I've only just found out he exists. I have no idea what I could take advantage of him with for.
Then you will help him when he requests it?
Depending on what it's with.
For the crown.
What crown?
The High Inquisitor has one of the last known possessions of your father in his house. It is a crown.
I don't know who my father is.
The High Inquisitor does.
Why am I not surprised that Sleazebag does? Sleazebag does.
your brother is unfortunately banished from his estate. There is magic specific to him he cannot enter, and any that he has sent to the estate have not returned. I believe your brother perhaps will ask you to retrieve the last relic of his father.
Which is a crown.
Uh, from what your brother has said, which is very little, yes.
Okay.
Can only be worn by demons or their kin.
So when you see, when Quill went through your mind, you were threatened that I might take something or stop you from being the queen. Is that what you were implying?
Not exactly. I was perhaps worried that you might distract your brother and ask to have a seat at his right hand, and I would be cast aside.
Even if I did, you would never be cast aside. Everything you've done for him, from what I can see, you're the only other person he trusts.
It would be nice of him to notice.
Men seldom do.
I'm sure in his heart of hearts he realizes how much he relies on me.
Have you told him how you feel?
Not what, of course not. That is insane. It is not the way he expresses affection with words.
Then how do you think he expresses affection?
I am still alive.
That is not. You feel like if he didn't have any affection for you, he would kill you.
People have been killed by him for mistakes worse than the ones I have made. Or not worse than the ones I have made.
What mistakes have you made?
Lost money, lost slaves, employed the wrong captain. Chartered
So
the
you're
wrong ship.
saying my brother is a harsh master.
You could say that.
Hmm.
But he keeps everyone in his kingdom safe. And there
Fair
is
trade.
a much worse fate for all of them if they were not under his protection.
I've seen it. I know. I take it he's resting now.
He is.
I
Whatever.
like you.
Sorry?
I like you. I like you, Kiara, and I've always wanted a sister.
She begins to blush, which on her very pale skin is incredibly obvious. She's got two glowing red cheeks. That is very nice of you. So have I. I do not know if I ever had any family.
You promised me that your affection for my brother is for my brother and not his power.
I would love your brother if he was a homeless vagrant.
I rolled insight.
Hmm?
It's a nat 20.
What? That two in a row?
22. It is. I love that. I've been using the turquoise one. I've started using this one.
The
I will continue to use this one.
the passion in her response cements in your mind that she's absolutely telling the truth. She is besotted with your brother and would love him regardless.
And if by any chance he doesn't feel the same way about you?
To love someone is not to enter a reciprocal contract. If you love someone, you do not have to have them love you back.
That's very sweet.
It is not his fault if he does not.
No, that's true. He'd be silly not to, though.
And she blushes again.
Could I stay here the night? I don't really want to travel back.
Yes, there is a room we could make up for you.
I'd like that.
And as she gets up, she kind of shifts awkwardly and says, oh, sorry, and takes the 2 daggers out from under her nightgown that she'd stashed there and places them on the table and then shows you to your room. It's it's a very opulent, very comfortable room in comparison to the living conditions of everyone in the houses outside.
If I send sending when somebody's asleep, do they get the message? Does it wake them up?
What an interesting question. I guess it probably would.
Hang on.
Because they hear it as a voice, as if it's been spoken to them, don't they? Depends on how heavy a sleeper you are.
Does that mean I would miss it if I was asleep?
I don't scream the message.
It doesn't say anything about incapacitated, so yeah.
Sweet. Once I'm in my room, I cast sending to Claw.
Okay.
And to let him know that I am in the house. And if he wants to come see me at any point, he can.
Okay. Cool.
I also send a quick one to Dice to say where I am.
Okay.
Thank you, because I was planning a mad running around in the morning going, Oriana has disappeared!
I was like, no, I'm underground.
Going underground.
The only response you get from Claw is very well. And that's it.
I send another one that's just Kiara's really got a thing for you, right?
Stop licking me.
You do get a response to this one. If I was not psychic, that would still be quite evident to me. Good night, sister.
Yeah, I settle in for the night.
Okay. And where are we? Okay. So the rest of you make your way to the human quarter. You are given a tour on foot by Cloud. Doesn't take too long to get around the heavier, like the places of heavier traffic, the wider thoroughfares, the place where everybody is going to walk past on their way to the farms on the outskirts of the city proper, to their jobs as servants, what have you. And Cloud goes, probably be best if I was not present for anything you're about to do. I will meet you with the carriage at my auntie's house.
I promise we're not about to hurt anyone, okay?
I would not be leaving if you were.
Thank you. I should have visited your aunt first. Could you drop something to her for me?
Of course.
Can you give her this? And I'll give him the herbalism kit.
Okay.
I asked if there was anything she needed, and she said more herbs for healing and things like that. My friend happened to have this kit, so I thought it would.
She will be
suit.
very pleased with this, and also to see me again.
What a shame.
I expect to be berated. Au revoir. And he walks off.
He's going to hate me by the time we leave. You know that, right?
You do seem like you're going out of his way to antagonize him a little.
His aunt was sad. He hadn't visited for a while. She's helping me. I feel like I owe her to wind up her nephew a little bit. He has, however, been very helpful and very well paid for the trips he's taken me on.
I'm glad to hear it.
I'm only winding him up a little bit. So, Oriana drew up this symbol. This is what we're doing.
Yes, I see it.
I was trying to think of a slogan we could spray elsewhere as well. We want not just the symbol, but we need the meaning behind it, right? Otherwise, it won't mean anything. So there has to be a few words on the wall as well. Any suggestions? Suggestions?
What is the symbol? Sorry.
It's an 8-pointed star. It's actually in the Discord somewhere.
It's an 8-pointed star in a circle, isn't it?
Yeah, but what is the meaning for it?
So the point of it is, it actually harkens back to King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table, and the Pendragon family, who obviously were rulers before the split.
Yeah.
So the point of it is to show humans that elven control is not a fait accompli, if you will.
Okay.
What about humanity rises?
Humanity rises.
History may repeat.
I don't think that people know their history.
They won't know the history, but humanity rises. We're stronger than they think. I wouldn't spray that one necessarily in elven places, but no elves are going to come down here by choice, right? So, anyway, things to that effect. And I will do the first one on the wall, but I would like to do it without anyone seeing me, Rich. So I'm happy to roll for stealth if you would like.
You're gonna fucking have to. Yes, I'd like everyone to roll stealth, please.
Oh, I mean, if you insist.
I was going to say, oh no, what a shame.
Luckily, that's cocked because it was between an 18 or a 4 then. So let's try a different dice.
I knew it's probably the 4.
I only rolled a 22.
I can't even see.
I also got a 22.
18. Nice. Nice.
You're rolling.
Okay, so an 18. What is happening?
You're rolling with disadvantages.
Oh no! Gotta roll again. What do I get this time?
Hang on. Are you wearing any elven kind stuff?
Ace should have boots of elven kind.
All right, cool. So it's a straight roll. That's fine.
Okay, I'll go with the first roll. I did then.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So +2, so that's 20.
Cool.
We bought the ace. We bought the boots for Ace from Altair.
You did.
Yes, we did indeed. Fancy boots.
So, it takes a while for everyone on the street to eventually pass and for it to become much quieter. You are fortunate in the fact that very few elven guards actually make their way down here. But when you're almost certain that you are not being observed, that you can do this unseen, you begin to paint the symbol on the wall with the words underneath. Who's doing the painting?
Me, but I might get Quill to do the words.
Okay. Roll me a performance check.
Performance, not dexterity.
All right. What tools are you using?
Well, I have inking tools anyway.
Calligraphy.
Yeah.
Then roll with tools and double your proficiency because you're a fucking artificer.
That's what I was aiming for. Yeah, the whole thing was supposed to be. So tools are proficiency, not dexterity.
Yeah, dexterity plus your proficiency twice.
Okay. Yep. I remember how to do this. So that is 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22.
Okay. So the first one comes out awesome, exactly like you've designed. The words underneath in Shalem can either be translated as down with the system or rage against the machine.
We wouldn't put those in.
No, I'm going with abolish human slavery.
Abolish human slavery, that also works. Fuck you, I won't do what you told me.
Humanity will rise. Things like that.
It's definitely not a Rage Against the Machine lyric. We aren't inventing punk rock in this setting.
Not yet.
We are not
Why?
Tom Morello.
Again, not yet.
Because I tell you for why. Because Quill is far, far too privileged to be any kind of punk rocker.
Yeah, you'd be
It would be
like
so
an industry
fun.
plant.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Quill is
And also-
already a member of the Tramp Stamps.
Yeah, I was about to say like girl band on TikTok.
And as you continue, you get it bigger on different walls. How many times would you like to do it? How prolific would you like to be?
I think we're going for like an underground campaign, aren't we? So we want to do a few of them and spread them out.
Okay.
Yeah. So about 10, but around various places, different things, and sometimes just the symbol, and sometimes what symbol I'm writing, depending on how big. So like there'd be a little one on a door frame, little things.
Okay. It takes the best part of an hour, halfway through which you get a message in your head from Oriana saying that they're staying in their brother's house in the underneath Paras.
Okay, have fun.
But after a while, you've covered a good... Pretty much everyone using these main thoroughfares is going to see this in the morning. Somewhere.
Good work. Thank you.
Yes, I think we've accomplished something. I'm not 100% sure what.
Well, it'll be more interesting when they start showing up in elven places. The reaction will be interesting,
I suspect the
Yeah.
reaction will be extraordinarily violent.
potentially. But unfortunately, there is never revolution without loss.
Very sadly.
But
Sure. I
At
just
least-
wonder if we're making decisions for people who we haven't consulted.
They'll make
Unfortunately-
themselves.
the humans here have a semblance of freedom, but not true freedom. They don't know enough.
Yes,
At the moment, all we need to do is start them thinking, right?
yes.
This is enough.
My concern is whether we are choosing for them between that semblance of freedom with an element of safety and a very dangerous.
The people living here do not even have that semblance of freedom and safety. This is the slums. This is not where the slaves live.
I understand your arguments, Dice, and I agree with them. My concern is that I am unsure whether it's our right to decide for the people living here.
Well, we have placed the symbols. Let's see what the reaction is.
Yes.
If
Can
the
choose
reaction
what to
is,
do with that knowledge.
they can paint over it tomorrow if they want to, and they'll be gone. And then we would know that they want no part in revolution. If they're not, or they're added to, or they start to spread on their own, then we know otherwise, right?
So it's certainly a start.
That's all I wanted, was a start.
Yes. I just don't want to put anyone in danger until we know that they are entering into it with open eyes.
Humans are smart. If they don't want to be a part of it, they will go elsewhere.
I am aware that humans are smart. I don't know whether we're giving them, by painting some symbols, I don't know whether we're giving them enough information to make a real decision, or whether we are starting something very dangerous and not allowing them the opportunity of informed consent.
I think it is very difficult to get informed consent without revealing yourselves as the idea behind something like this, which we cannot do. The idea is out there. Whether it becomes anything or not, I can't control. But the idea is there. Unless you want to gather a town hall meeting and explain to the humans why they're being subjugated, which I think would be a terrible and very, very bad plan, I don't know what else we could do.
I mean, before we start putting people in real danger, yes, that is the sort of thing I would like to see. But I understand that we have to build a grassroots movement before that's worthwhile.
Right? This is the start. But
Yes.
then
I was just checking that we're on the same page. I know that we are.
I'm not going to put people in danger deliberately. But there will always be an element of risk with anything like this, I think.
Yes, as long as the people taking those risks have chosen them for themselves. That's my only qualm.
On the way out, let me speak with Alice briefly. She seemed to have some knowledge of what goes on down here.
Seems wise.
Okay, let's go find her. Cloud is there anyway.
As you get back to Alice's, then Cloud is sitting on the top of the carriage, waiting for you. All of the lights in Alice's place are out.
Or maybe I'll come back during the day.
She immediately took the herbalism kit that you gave and went door to door. There are some sick children she is tending to.
Are things so bad down here?
Not so bad. They are ignored. We do what we can.
The sick are ignored, or the humans are ignored in general?
The sick are ignored.
What happens to the humans down here?
Yeah, treated well, as long as we can work our asses off for the Empire.
And the ones who can't?
They are looked after by their family. We all share the
Thank you.
burden.
We should get back to the hotel.
I will take you.
Thank you. I will try and get some more herbs for your aunt as well, when I can. If I can.
You have already given her more than she has been donated in the last month. I think she's very happy.
I would rather there were no sick children.
Of course. Wouldn't we all?
All of the humans, at least, I think.
And the carriage takes you back to the hotel.
I tip him a gold again.
You cannot be so generous all the time in Paris.
I'm not just two people I like.
You will eventually run out. It's not like
Well-
it's not like you have 1,000,000 gold or anything.
I think I will be okay for a little while.
As you guys get back into the hotel, rise up the lift. You enter your room. All of the lights are off. All of the candles are dimmed. Or just extinguished. And across the room, standing just in front of one of the windows, looking out over Paras, is a tall, dark, cloaked figure.
Quill, if I'm not very much mistaken, there appears to be someone in our room.
Doesn't there? Excuse me there. I think you might have the wrong room.
Or if you have the right room. Why?
As he turns around, Quill, you have no idea who this person is. Dice, Ace. It is Wrath, Niklaus, standing before you. Familiar eye patch over the one eye. An exasperated look on his face. What took you so long?
What took us so long? Why are you here? Also, hi. How are you?
We have business.
I'm Quill.
And he gestures to the chairs in front of him.
Don't we always have business?
This is our hotel room. You sit. I gesture to chair.
Leaving that there for now. Oriana, as you sleep,
Yes. Yeah. Huh?
at first your dreams are haphazard, muddled, but then they solidify.
Like jelly.
It is a familiar dream. You are once more flying over one of the plains of the Nine Hells. There are great machines churning up the earth below you, driving over lost souls, churning them into nothing. Demons clawing and fighting each other in the sky. Imps coiling in the sky like flocks of birds. And you fly towards the very familiar gate you have seen. But it was open. It is active. And you can see through it, instead of a shimmering portal, what looks like a grassland. A farmhouse off in the distance. Standing before the door. And even now, as you look at him, he is both impossibly tall, towering over mountains, and of average height. The warping of your perception of him almost hurts. There is a huge winged demon in front of you. His hair is flame. His horns curl and coil around his head up into the sky. And there is electricity jumping between each point. His skin a deep blood red. Standing before him is another demon. His skin slightly paler, burning fire in his eyes. Stunningly handsome. And as his tail coils around him, he reaches up. And the huge figure, and you can see now there is a resemblance, almost familial. The huge figure, from the fire in his hair, plucks a circlet. It looks like dark iron, but in the iron you can see veins of fire. And spikes shift in and out, form and disappear, as if the metal is almost liquid. And he hands it to the boy. And the boy, placing it on his head, steps through the portal, and you are sucked in after him. You stand in a snow-covered wasteland. There are mountains around you, but the blizzard raging around the small farmhouse in front of you makes them almost invisible. And you see the door to the farmhouse open, and this demon walks out. And in his arms is a bundle. You think he's about to throw the bundle until a small hand reaches up out of the bundle. And from his head he takes the crown and allows the small hand to play with it. The crown begins to shrink. The small hand tries to put it on the baby's head. You see the skin of the hand and the arm as it reaches out of the bundle, and it's purple. But he snatches the crown back away, chuckling in a deep, grumbling laugh that sounds like coals being raked over a fire. And through the doorway you can see another small boy, red skin, horns just coming in, and laying there, sweat-covered brow, as if she's just been through some horrendous exertion. An incredibly beautiful elven woman, who looks very much like you. The snow picks up again, the scene disappears, and you see the Inquisitor. And he stands there holding the crown. It is covered in blood. And he turns to a mirror, places it on his head, and smiles wide. And the mirror itself begins to shimmer like the portal you saw, and through it you can see the 9 hells. But then the mirror shatters and breaks, and the dream ends. And you dream no more. And that is where we're going to leave it off this week. But yes,
Sweet.
everyone completely messed with my expectations. I spent ages setting up that fucking battle map. Yeah.
What were you expecting to happen?
It might still happen, so he's not going to tell us.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's definitely not going to tell us.
But yes. I hope
At least it's done, right? You can just leave it on the table for the next week. It'll be fine.
That is the best bit about having a dedicated D&D room. Is that
leave it.
we could just leave it in mid-battle and come back and everyone would be exactly where they were.
Say dedicated D&D room. It is also his office, but not that posh. Just so we're explaining this.
It's a dedicated D&D room. That's the more
Yeah,
that's
it
the
was
more
a D&D
important
room
function.
before it was an office.
Exactly.
It's true. It was.
But yeah, I hope everyone enjoyed.
He uses the DM screen mostly for his work calls.
I have actively, because it's got the magnets on it, which are brilliant. I've actively pinned call stuff there and good
Very
numbers when I've done it. But yes, I hope everyone enjoyed.
Yeah.
Very much.
I hope chat enjoyed as well.
Nice to be back.
Thanks for hanging out with us, guys.
I've got to make it through another week now. God.
Thanks for coming to the new channel.
Yeah.
Heavyweight RPG.
Heavyweighter PG.
We're gonna get the R-rated version soon. Don't worry.
Yeah.
But it might not be on Twitch because that's not allowed.
Heavyweighter After Dark.
As always, though,
Heavyweight
please pop over and check out our wonderful sponsors, Loki Battle Mats and Blink Dog Dice, both of which have, like I said earlier, offered and donated some amazing gifts to be given away during the 24-hour stream that's coming up, which will also include things like the Hero Vault donated by a fan of the channel, and the 2 copies from D&D Beyond of Van Richten's why Brian AD Van Richten's Guide to Ravenloft, which I'm really
Such a cool setting. Ravenloft is so fucking badass.
so good. A little bit of a personal plug for me and Greg.
Bryce, we don't need to know if you've got a personal plug-in. That's
Shut up!
Please join us over on if you've got nothing else to do. Please join us and some fans of the channel, who one of which has absolutely no experience with D&D. The other, I believe, has played one session or 1 or 2 years ago and can't really remember. As me and Greg take some beginners through their first D&D campaign, which starts tomorrow over on twitch.tv/Dice of the Beholder. So tomorrow,
That's the first I heard of that.
Yeah,
I'm very excited. My character, the character I've made for this one, is extraordinarily cursed.
They usually are.
This is my most cursed character probably ever.
I was creeped out when you chose
Who's
that
the one that
picture
you
as
mentioned
the...
before that you really wanted to play.
Sorry?
Who's playing?
As me, Nikki, and Stu.
Oh, right, okay.
So Stu's,
I think Nikki has a friend who might be joining us as well.
Stu's played one game with Nick, Omega Beard.
Yeah, Nick DM'd for us
A couple of years ago.
That should be
I
fun.
think we did 1 or 2 sessions, and that was
it.
probably a decade ago.
Yeah.
Most of.
But Nikki has never played, has he? Nikki's never
Don't
played.
think so.
So I'm going to take them through their first D&D session for hopefully campaign. But please join us tomorrow night. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a lot of fun.
That should be good.
At some point, I will
what
get
time?
to play.
Yeah. Well, that actually, I wanted to say about that. I am working on the campaign that I want to run for you all, and I'm thinking I need to put a deadline on myself. So we've talked about this since we began this campaign. That at some point I'm going to start running something which will be once a month. So we're thinking it'll be the 3rd Sunday of every month or whatever. And I'm giving myself a target now that I will run it in August.
Okay.
So we'll have our first session. We'll discuss what Sunday of the month it will be, but it will be in August whenever that happens.
Very cool.
No, I'm gonna have to come up with another voice. Okay.
Just be like me and don't do it.
Mine's
Yeah,
going to
can't
be
do that.
mine's
I
going
like
to be
it.
Greg French.
Yeah, yeah.
Bonjour.
Bonjour.
In so much pain.
Au revoir.
Yeah, your character's
He is
dead already.
so determined to get the dice. It's
You can
unreal.
also check me out on Random Nights of the Week
Yes.
playing Mass Effect at the moment over on Hey Charlie, and Greg also now has his own channel on Twitch where at the moment he's streaming Valorant.
Yes.
Yep. And I'm going to
Usually
start.
with
I'm going to
me and
start
Brad.
streaming a couple of other things as well.
Yes.
I'm on twitch.tv/nullis pointer exception, which
Please go
I can't.
chuck a follow.
I'd love to put in the chat, but I don't think I can.
Please
do
go
links.
check a follow if you haven't already. Also, please.
If you just type, they can click on your name to follow you.
Give me a minute.
Oh yeah, I can.
Oh yeah,
Um,
you're on Twitch, of course you
And
can.
Millie's on
Millie's on
YouTube at
YouTube.
Blizzdot.
Yes.
I am on YouTube.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And
I
we
don't
are.
plug myself. I got a new subscriber today, like a random one. That never
Nice.
happens. It was exciting.
If anyone wants to pop it in their calendar as well, and if anyone actually has Xbox Game Pass for the PC and wants to join on the 22nd of June, this month, 22nd of this month, Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance drops. The new co-op. I think it's just going to be a co-op hack and slash, but it looks like fun, and I kind of want to spend a bit of time with Millie and maybe some other people jumping in and kicking the shit out of an actual beholder as Drizzt. So I'm looking forward to that. So that's out on the 22nd for free if you have Xbox Game Pass for the PC. So yeah, we're all streaming, but if you haven't already, I will repeat, please ask as many people as you can to come and drop a follow to heavyweighter PG. And yeah, AD needs affiliate again. Oh, the heavyweight needs affiliate again, especially hopefully before the 24th of July when we have, or when he runs this amazing charity 24-hour stream.
It should be mentioned. He's already hit the follower requirement for it. I noticed.
Yes,
It's
so I
just
think
the streaming. It's just the streaming averages and things now.
I'm pretty certain the
think
average
you've
is pretty
smashed
good.
those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, apart from that, as always, take care, stay safe.
Watch the new Bo Burnham special.
Yes.
Okay.
Watch Inside.
Thanks to those who have watched, thanks to those who will watch. Take care, stay safe, wear a mask, don't go outside unless you have to, get vaccinated if you can and haven't already. We can't wait to see some of you guys in person real soon. We love you guys, and we will see you next week.
Love you.
Bye.
Good night, everyone.
Bye.